Hello everybody and welcome back to Encounter Roleplay. My name is Will, I'm a D&D sex icon and I'm back here and I'm on time. We've got the full cast and crew back with us today to play some more Warhammer, The Great Conspiracy. So let's get into it, my friends. Let's go around, let's remind ourselves, of course, of who we are, and more importantly, who we're going to be playing tonight. And let's start with our Dungeon Master, Mr. Jim fucking Davis. Jim, how's it going? A little bit muted there, buddy.
I mean, had an extremely normal and completely uneventful last couple of days. No controversies online. No near-death experiences to heighten the senses and the like. Ready to play some Warhammer, though, so there is that.
Great stuff. And, of course, we have with us today Cherry. Cherry, how's it going?
Hi, it's going well. In an outfit. That's not controversial in this group at all.
Fine. Amazing stuff. Of course, Melina, Elf Cleric, will be back with us today, no doubt, splunking round more. Abby's getting into trouble. And of course, we have Jonathan Pruitt back with us tonight. Pruitt, how's it going, my friend?
These web DM guys,
Also
they just...
muted.
Yeah, they're
What the
not
fuck
very good at
is
this.
It's web DM noobs.
They come in like the big shots.
Absolutely.
You muted, my
Too
friend.
much going on.
It gives us an air of humility.
Yeah.
So we are fallible. Is what it is. I'm loving being here today. Hopefully my character here will not have as close of a call as my last one did. But you never know. So I hope for an exciting game, and I'm sure Jim Davis has had no stress whatsoever that he wants to take out on us. And so it's going to be nice and fun, and there will be puppies and rainbows. I'm sure he'll find a way to kill puppies with the rainbows.
Death by Rainbow, yeah. It sounds likely. And of course, we have, I guess, Gareth back with us tonight. Gareth, what's up?
Technically, I'm not last. Honestly, I feel promoted.
This upsets me. It's not a promotion. It's not.
It's not a promotion. You're assistant to the regional manager.
Exactly.
Yes, so you guys, I'm going to be playing York, who is a human witch, but don't call him a witch to his face, because he takes offense to it.
Yeah, fair enough. Okay, fair enough. Call him a witch at all times. Got it. We also have Charlie with us somewhere. I don't know where Charlie is. Maybe somewhere in the void of time space, but she'll be joining us. I myself will be playing Jerry Gerhardt. Truly. Oh wait. Okay, I've got Charlie. I'll bring her in here in just 2 seconds. I'll be playing Jerry, the human racketeer. Who's up for a good time, and he's up to kill a nun, bang a nun, and anything and everything in between. Let's see if I can get Charlie in here. Charlie, where are you? Let's try all of these.
It's a bad thing when I'm the most professional person here.
Yeah. Okay, I can't seem to bring her in. Try a refresh, Charlie, because I see you on the server, but not in the room. But before we get started today, I'll remind you guys of a few things. The first of which is that we're sponsored today by FancyGrounds.com, our virtual tabletop of choice. Go and check them out there. The demo version is free, and you can play all of a variety of different tabletops over there. We played some Call of Cthulhu earlier. Now it's time for some Warhammer. WellingGames.co.uk, you can buy Warhammer minis, board games, war games, tabletop minis, all that stuff at up to 20% off. And then last but not least, at the end of each game, tabletoploot.com is the go-to destination for dice. And they give away a set at the end of each of the games here on Encounter Roleplay, so stick around to the end and we'll give away another set of games for you guys. As per usual, you can interact in today's game. If you haven't retweeted this tweet yet, go ahead, do so. 20 retweets, you guys get to decide on a viewer decision where you get to decide something terrible, what happens to the party. In the last game, Masks of Malafetep, you guys got to give the undead flaming longswords, so it can be great things or bad things. And of course, you can donate to the affected game as well by giving players nat 1s, nat 20s, wild magic surges, and worse. But I will hand over to Jim Davis to remind us of what happened last week on the show and to take us into today's episode of The Great Conspiracy. And a big thank you to Scraticus for the raid. Welcome in, my friends. Get some swords there in chat. But Jim, take us away, my friends, into the world of Warhammer.
There we go. All right. So, last week, our group of drinking buddies and gangsters decided that they were going to assist their companion Van in discovering what exactly was going on with his recently arrived father. They dodged and intimidated some orderlies sent from the local infirmary, who were sort of sent to retrieve Ferris, and out of one of the orderlies that they captured, they learned that Ferris had been kept in a secret sanatorium in the Shalian nunnery and temple complex that was on the west side of the city. And so Molly, having disappeared and gone off to search the streets of Middenheim during Carnival by herself, the rest of the group decided to take a trip to the Shalian temple and see what exactly was going on there. And while there, shenanigans ensued. York attempted to get himself committed in order to see exactly what it was that was going on. Mel did her own bit of Splinter Cell-like stealth mission throughout the other half of the temple complex as she dodged patrols and donned disguises and eventually found her way towards the office of potentially the abbess of the entire complex. During all of this, York, who had worked himself down into the basement and gotten himself thrown into a cell, was, managed through just a bit of luck, a trick, really. They didn't lock the door right or something, and managed to escape, whereupon he met a young woman who was clearly possessed of some sort of madness, but also a great righteous fury and passion. And in a fit of inspiration, York sent her off on a quest to find her companion that she was inquiring about. Shortly thereafter, York was joined by Van and Jerry, who, the three of them, checking the cells and sort of seeing who else was down here in this basement of the sanatorium, discovered Rold, a long-haired, long-fingernailed, absolutely horrid-smelling, emaciated man who seemed mad and just delirious and seemingly wanting death. The three of them exited the sanatorium by the secret passage that they had discovered and were making their way back to the Wolf's Head, presumably to meet back up with Mel and Molly to discuss their further plans. However, Mel was caught in the large office. She could hear voices talking outside in the foyer that she had just passed through. And she had also discovered something strange, a strange substance in a snuff box in the desk. So I think actually there is where we will pick up with Mel in that office. So the scene is there was a foyer with a lot of devotional materials. It looked like a sitting room or something, and then an inner office with several wardrobes, one of which was locked. The other one was empty, but had some robes and vestments and the like in it. And there was a large window that overlooked the temple below. Now, Mel, you had just discovered this snuff box and were sort of rummaging around the rest of the desk. There was a ledger and the like. When you heard these voices, and I'll give you a chance to tell me what it is that you're going to do.
I think she'd go hide in the unlocked wardrobe.
Okay. Let's see here real quick. What is that? That is going to be an easy stealth roll because there's a lot of vestments and the like that's in it. You could easily sort of tuck yourself back in there. Excuse me. So whenever you get that roll, that's going to be with a plus something. Oh, that's one. Try /die space D100. That doesn't work. And your skill is going to have a plus 40 bonus to it for it being an easy task.
There you go.
Yeah, 36.
So,
So
what's your
46 would be the
46? Okay. All right. As the office door opens and Mel sort of secures herself in the wardrobe, you can hear two voices talking, a man's voice and a woman's voice. The man is speaking at the moment, but the woman was speaking muffled when you first heard them. I think that it is imperative that we bring the patient back to us as unharmed as possible. We do not know the extent to which the experiments have been successful, and despite his violent temperament, we should make every effort to bring him back to them unharmed. Whether the woman replies or not, there's a moment of silence, and it sounds like the two of them are walking around the room. Is his items that he was brought with, are they here? They wish to know if a certain artifice or artifact is still with his possessions. Yes, they are in this cabinet over here, and you can hear the two of them walking across the room. Now, Mel, you're hidden in one of the wardrobes. Are you just being as still and quiet as you can and listening, or are you trying to do anything else?
I think just still and listening.
Okay. There's
to get as much info right now as you can.
There is a sound of a lock in a key, and potentially perhaps the other wardrobe opening, and a moment of silence. This is very good. I am sure that the artifact will be safe here, but perhaps your office is not the best place. The woman replies, "Hi, my office is plenty safe. The other storage rooms are too accessible by the patients in the infirmary. I assure you that there's no one who can enter the office without my blessing." A door is shut, and you can hear the creak of leather as the two of them sit down in the chairs for a chat. And rather than sort of go through the whole thing talking to myself, they appear to be discussing some unknown and unidentified patient. But the topic of conversation quickly turns to what to do about that patient and how to acquire it. The woman speaks first. I believe that my message to Commander von Shaver has arrived. The watch should be alerted and will apprehend our patient in the morning. I am told that we will retrieve him from one of their holding cells. It should be a day at most before we are able to resume our experiments, and they, I'm sure, will be most pleased with our progress. If they happened to fail to reacquire him, I have been told by them that a agent, what did they call it? A runner, would be sent after him. It would not be pleasant, and our experiments we would need to find a new subject for them. Not a insurmountable setback, but disappointing nonetheless. I hope that the City Watch is able to get to him before their runner is. After this, they seem to move on to more pleasant and less secretive conversation. There's the sound of glasses and something being poured, and they stay maybe another 20 minutes or so chatting back and forth about other patients and the like. I would like Mel to make me an intelligence test, though, while this is going on.
Alright, 44.
Alright.
Oh, I didn't copy pasta the right thing.
You recognize the man's voice as one Dr. Aristeo Homrighausen. He is the guildmaster of the Physicians Guild.
Okay. That would be the top, right?
Yes. And like I said, their conversation now goes towards, they discuss, the people who've recently been brought in. There's some of them were, of course, from the brawl that had happened earlier tonight between the Eastenders and the Southies. And after about 20 minutes or so, the doctor excuses himself and leaves. The woman appears to stay for another 10 minutes, but give me a listen or perception. I think probably perception test, just to see if you can tell when she leaves.
49.
Mm-hmm. Hard to say. I mean, 10 minutes goes by after you know that the doctor has left, and you don't hear anything from inside the room. Difficult to tell if maybe she's still there or not. But while Mel is still trapped in the closet, let's go and figure out exactly what Molly has been up to this evening. Now, of course, it's getting late in the night. It's probably shortly past midnight or so. The revelries and the like have died down, and only the most stubborn and obstinate of drunks are still out having their drinks and stumbling their way home. And so I'd like to just kind of back up a bit and Molly, what was it that you were up to when you mysteriously and unexpectedly disappeared, and where will your companions find you now?
I would like to point out for the record that I did not disappear. I went exactly where I said I was going. I went to the park to find out what the fuck had gone on with the dogs and the cats and the people. It was bloody Jerry that turned around and went God knows where. I was halfway down the road before I realised, and fuck him, I carried on. So, got to the park, had a look around, saw there was problems at the stadium, got there, found out from a good friend Conrad that they turned up with a... I've gone all farmer now. They turned up with a great big truck.
Jesus Christ.
The truth is coming out. They turned up with a great big truck.
Or no
full of
mom's
cats
back around here.
and dogs. And it was a riot. It all kicked off. Jerry would have loved it. So, came back, tell him what was going on, figured out Jerry was still at the pub. Come in there. There's a fucking dwarf attacking the wolf. So, me and Guntard pull down the wolf, pull down the dwarf, we sit him down, we get it sorted out. I find out there's a guy in the back room, but that's normal. Jerry likes to keep guys in the back room. We know not to question it. Bring him out, sit him down at the table too. Try and catch up. Find out where the whole crew's gone. They tell me they don't know. Something to do with the monastery or infirmary, something to do with nuns. And so yeah, we're having a nice drink. We are a little bit of cider, a little bit of cider, beer, ale. Ferris has gone to sleep, like face down, a wolf head just tucked under his arm. He's very happy that he's now killed the beast that was in the pub. And our good friend Dankrad is looking very nervous, but he's been instructed by Molly that he is not leaving until Jerry gets back. So we're having a nice little drink.
Gunter is there sort of behind the bar cleaning up a bit. There's a few stragglers here at the Wolf's Head, the regulars who more than likely will pass out underneath a table somewhere. But Gunter's keeping an eye on Dankred. And about the time that Mel is straining her ears to figure out, just who else is in the room with her, Van, Jerry, and York return with a disgusting looking person having made your way across the city at night. It's very quick, and they enter into the Wolf's Head with Rolled in tow.
Where the fuck are you in?
I was just about to ask you the same thing, Jerry. Who the fuck is this? And who the fuck is that?
All right, what's his dad?
Yes, it's my father. And we went to go get his friend, find out what happened to them. I need a mug of ale though. Oh, what a night.
Where's Mel? She's here as well, is she?
Is she with you? She ain't there.
Ah, fuck.
York?
York, what have you done?
How the fuck is that on me? I risked myself.
She was with you, mate. She was with you the whole fucking time. I thought she was just skulking somewhere in the shadows or back here.
I've got this fucker's shit all over me, and now you're gonna make me walk all the way back there.
You're the one dancing in blood, son.
I'm never gonna be able to look a nun in the eye after what I did there. And no, they don't wear sexy underwear. I checked for you, Jerry.
At least you got something good came out of this whole thing.
It's got to count for something, Jerry.
All I can say is comfort is very important to them. Let's see if this guy's got anything else, and I'll head and look for Mel. Like, she kind of looked after me, and I kind of pull back a little bit, and you can see a massive shiner.
You know what? I'll go back there and I'll go ask him.
I'm fine, by the way.
You lost her
He
once,
starts
mate.
pointing. I got hit by a fucking bottle. 3 men came at me. I protected Mel.
I'll come with you.
I'm sure it was a story for the barge to tell.
Was it Southeast? Easties? Westies?
They were.
I think it was
Northeast?
north by northwesties.
Which are the
Well, by
biggest
no
ones?
proxies.
Which are the biggest ones?
We're the biggest ones, York. You know
It's
that.
slightly smaller than us. But
The
3.
Southeast.
Yeah, there were 3
Dead rats
Southies.
and the like.
I'm pretty sure there might have been 4, but 2 little ones standing on each other's
Well, you know why
shoulders.
that is? That's
just to
because you went and
punch me
started
harder.
shanking them.
Yeah, he's
Right on
fucking
yourself.
shanking son. I don't blame him.
It was meant
Anyway,
to be a
let's-
nice little fight, and you go bringing out your knives.
Where the fuck were you anyway, Molly? You should have been here.
I went down
You're-
the park to go and find out about the dogs and the cats and the riot and the people. Like I said
Listen.
I was going to. Find out what the bourgeoisie have been doing.
Fuck is that word?
When have
Listen,
you ever
brother.
done what you've been told, Molly?
It's because I wasn't told. It's because I wanted to know all by myself.
Jesus Christ.
And what did you find?
Right, listen. We got some shit to do. We got one fucking nut job here, and we lost Mel, who's the only one. Well, actually, she's a fucking elf. But we'll go find her anyway. Because she's pretty useful. And when we get scrapes and stuff, she heals us.
She's
You
the
managed
doc.
to lose Mel. There's only 6 elves
Oh.
in the city.
I gave her to York for 5 fucking minutes, and suddenly she's fucking gone.
Molly
only
just
about
hits
5 of them.
York up the back of the head.
She's probably swooning after my heroics. It's natural. When you see a man go into such defensive mode like that, my kicks are as fast as lightning. She's probably needs to lay down.
I've seen your
She's probably
kicks
getting a
roll around in
tattoo
the
of my
gutter.
name right now. She'll back me up. You ask her.
We'll go find her then. Go on, York.
Are we not gonna ask this piece of shit smelling motherfucker here what the hell he's on about? And we've just gone and got him. I don't want him to get away.
Alright, we'll talk to him first. Welcome, mate. She'll be fine.
Yes, maybe we should give him a bit of a wrench, though. And Van's gonna like go outside and like scoop up a bucket of water like out of the trough out in front, and just like direct roll to go out the moon door out the back, and he's just gonna dump it over his head. Just give him a quick rinse.
Yeah, he is, like I said, remarkably pliant and cooperative when it comes to just telling him what to do, or like stand here, do this. He seems to have a sort of passivity born from fear that he walks out the door, sits down. Now, if you talk to him, that's another matter. But Van pours the trough water over Rold, and he starts to like flinch and sort of feel like starts wiping it off, like no, I can't. And is muttering to himself while he's like trying to get his hair all all the water out of it and everything. Why'd you do that? Why? And he looks at Van out there in the alley behind the moon door.
Rolled, remember, shaved you. Just needed a bit of a wrench, that's all.
No.
Just throw the scent off so they can't track you.
No. If I don't smell like them, then they don't. They
smell like what?
They eat things that aren't theirs. They eat.
Who is they? Who is they? Who's trying
Van
to
asks him. Who? Shh. And he motions for Van, and for a second, the fear leaves his face and his eyes, and he seems incredibly lucid. And he looks Van in the face. You gotta be quiet.
Of course.
And make me. I want to have Van make me a perception roll.
Okay, perception is 40.
Is this within sight of me? Like, so
this is outside in the back, right? I don't know if y'all are. Who else followed?
Yeah,
I imagine I'm kind of.
So Van failed. York. What'd you say?
I'm watching from the doorway. So would I still be able to get the check or?
Yes. Yeah, York would.
I failed.
I think I succeeded. Perception, that's a standard success.
So it's quiet out. Van, you are just sort of like, there's nothing that seems to be particularly significant about it. But York, you yourself, it seems really quiet, like that muffled sort of, sometimes when you're in a fog or something like that, sound just has an odd quality or a muffled quality to it. And standing outside here now, it's the same way. You sort of feel that the shadows are a little bit deeper than you're used to. The sound seems to not carry as far as you're used to, and there's just a feeling of being watched that York is aware of.
Can I just, so they're out in the alley, can I just start doing like some menial bits, like I'm sure some bits of his clothing or whatever has just been washed onto the floor, so I'll kind of be walking around casually picking them up, but giving everywhere a good subtle eyeing up as well.
So what are you doing with like the scraps of his clothing?
I'll just hang on to them for now, unless he's revealed himself and he's hanging cock loose, shall we say? I'll just kind of hang on to them for now.
He is crouching down and looking at the other alleyways nearby and just sort of the shadows and seems to be recoiling from them. That brief moment of lucidity has passed and fear has overtaken Rold again as he sort of is eyeing the shadows with nervous energy.
I ain't gonna get nothing out of him. He's fucking lost it, mate.
Is there a safe place we could go? He's speaking to Van.
You're muted, bro.
Yes, we can go in the back room. They won't be able to find us back there. Ferris is there.
Who?
Your cellmate. Your cellmate.
Cellmate.
And I'll start kind of leading him in. Like, he's in the next cell. And once we get inside, I'll just be like, Ferris, please.
The White Dwarf. Ferris is lightly sleeping. It's actually the most like pleasant you've seen him this evening. He doesn't seem agitated, or even when he was like passed out before, his breathing was very rapid. He seems to be like in a sleep with the wolf's head sort of like tucked in under one arm and passed out on like a sack of barley or something where he was moved after he fell asleep. So he's sort of in the back rooms, but not awake.
Okay, well then Van will stop from waking him up, seeing that actual piece on his face, and just kind of like show Raw, like, see, he's the one that told us to come shave you.
The White Dwarf. Yes. He didn't kill me. He saved me.
Yes.
Harold seems briefly reassured that he's in the room with Ferris, and makes a move to like actually go over and like look at him, and you almost see him like reach out with those gross, dingy, broken nails to try to like touch Ferris. What's everybody else doing? This is mostly like Van and York. What? How about the rest of y'all, or at the very least Molly and Jerry?
Yeah, I reckon we should go off and find Mel. She's got herself in any kind of trouble because I ain't getting anywhere with this guy.
Oh, you mean you're actually going to make it all the way out this time then, Jerry? You're not just going to turn around and come back here or wander off into the dark or whatever the fuck it was that you went and did last time?
I go where I go, love, and I don't get questioned about where I goes. By the likes of you.
Well, I guess we're going to go find Mel then.
Go find Mel. Let's go see these nuns. See what they did to York. How many nuns hit you, York?
No nuns hit me. They tried to help me, and I realized I could have sacrificed myself for this. You should be thanking me. This must be half my debt paid off in one go. There was shit on the wall, Jerry. Someone had painted a house in the shit. It had a little sweet corn kernel fence. It was the most disgusting thing I have ever seen.
Alright, let's find Mel.
You go on, Jerry. I don't think I need to go. Doesn't sound like a place that they'd like me much.
I reckon you might be able to handle this one on your own, son. You've come a long way. Past couple minutes, and I think you could handle this one solo.
I mean, if it gets me a break.
Go on.
We could just stay here and have a nice drink, Jerry.
We'll stay here. We'll have a drink. Yeah. You know what? You go find those sexy nuns. You enjoy them yourself, but you have them. Damn. They're all yours.
Yeah, we won't kink shame you if that's what you like. Off you go.
Go and get them.
I would just walk out. I realised that when Jerry's in this kind of mood, that it's best just to get away.
And you hear from the back room. You hear from the back room. You shouldn't kink shame.
We're not.
Shut up!
Don't worry.
Like out of everything, I just shut up, Van, you prick. And I'll what I'll do, I'll go and get a change of clothes though. It's still just black, but in an attempt to look a little bit different. I'll just grab a bag or something, then I'll head out.
All right. That's great. So York exits into the city in the dead of night, dressed in black, making his way from the Freiburg neighborhood towards the west gate where the Shalian temple is. And then that means, so we've got Van sort of in the back storerooms looking after his dad and sort of rolled, and then Molly and Jerry in the bar or sort of coming from the back to the front, half arguing, half bossing. So there's around. Jerry's going to drink. How about Molly?
Molly will drag Dankrad up to the bar. Because he's been specifically told he's not allowed to leave, so she's gonna drag him up to the bar, and then she'll pour him and Jerry and herself a drink.
Oh yeah, Dan Queen, what's up, mate?
All right. Am I free to go now?
Why are you here? Why are you here again?
You wanted to know how to get into the temple without using the front door.
Oh yeah, did you tell me?
Yes, remember I told you, and I said you could use the basement entrance in one of the abandoned buildings north of it. And yeah.
All right. Well, before you goes, you got to promise me that you're not the city watch. Now, by law, you've got to tell me if you are.
Oh,
He's right. You gotta tell him if you are.
Yes,
city
sir.
watch. No, I don't. Nothing to do with the watch. I'm part of the neighborhood militia for the neighborhood I'm in, but so's everybody
Hey,
else.
neighborhood watch.
No, not the watch.
The
Not the watch.
neighborhood watch.
Those
fucking
curtain
vital, mate.
switches, Jerry.
That's
Stop
fucking
us
vital.
in.
No. Neighborhood watch. That's the backbone of our society, son. Honestly, it is. Without a neighborhood watch, we're fucked.
Oh yes, yes,
I am
definitely.
myself. I'm part of many neighborhood watches. I watch a lot of neighborhoods,
Oh.
just in case anything goes wrong in them. So there's a lot of crime going on. A lot of people get their legs broken, and I look after them.
Legs broken. I don't. No, I that's not what we do. We we just we do parades. That's it.
Oh, show us your parade. I want to see one. I didn't get to see any earlier. Let's get to the fight.
Yeah, go on.
He is super nervous around Molly. Like he's sort of like expecting to get just murdered or maimed from this this thug that's next to him, and he turns to Molly. I don't have my costume to do a parade in right now, and I need all the other members of the watch, or not the watch, and he, the militia to be parade with.
Hold on, I'll loan you my skirt and I'll stand behind you, and then there's two of us in the parade.
Yeah, go on,
I
take it
like
off.
the show.
You put it on.
All right.
Right, so I grab my skirt with the many pockets and I like pull it up and I tie it up round Dankrad's waist. Hold on, you don't need that.
great.
I just pull
This is
couple
great on a
things
lot
out the
of
pockets, put them in my trouser pockets.
It don't take much, does it, Moss?
No. Gunter has a light chuckle as Dankred attempts to. I mean, there's not a lot you do on these parades other than walk around. So he just kind of like marches around the bar with Molly kind of in step, but they're not, in sync. And so it's a lot of stepping on toes and tripping over each other as he nervously eyes Jerry. Who, I guess, I don't know, whatever it is that Jerry's doing.
It's like clapping.
So,
And at that time, Van comes from the back room to get a refill, and he's like, "You started a parade without me? What the
Come
hell?"
on, Van, get in! There's only two of us.
And he falls in line behind Molly and makes his way to the bar and kind of puts the mug up and then gets it on the next pass by.
So while we have a impromptu reenactment of the neighborhood militia parades, Mel has been for at least 10 minutes sort of quietly listening in the wardrobe. What's your plan, Mel?
I think we're gonna slowly peek out And then I think the next move would be to try and see what the artifact is, try and break that open one more time.
Okay. Slowly peek out, and you've got night vision. So the light that's kind of pouring in through the window from the temple, you can see perfectly fine in here, and you get a glimpse of like the sitting chairs that are sort of across the room and a corner of the desk, but you don't see any movement or think you see anyone from that peek out.
Let's do it. Let's hop on out.
Okay. Mel steps out into an empty room. The door leading to the foyer and leading out of the office is shut, and the papers on the table have been obviously moved around and sort of looked at, but other than that, you see no signs of anyone else in the room with you.
I'm gonna try and break into the other cabinet and see if I can see what the artifact is before I leave. One
right.
last bit of trouble.
All right, so you could try to pick that lock somehow, or you're gonna like try to break into it.
We're using the dagger. That's all I got.
Okay. All right. I think last time we were doing strength checks for that.
I think so.
Yeah, I think that was right. That seems like so long ago.
It's a special day.
Only a week ago,
yeah.
Right? So yeah, go ahead and give me that roll.
Gosh darn it!
Oh no!
What in the world?
Yeah, it does not. It's not. Doesn't look like it's rolling. I don't know. Did the command change? I know they did a big update recently.
No, it should be / die space 1d100.
D100, yeah.
Oh wait,
D100.
that's just 100. It's not.
Yeah. / die.
Yeah, well,
The 100.
There we go.
there you go.
Yes. My strength is 36.
Yeah, you're trying. It's not a particularly well-made lock, but it is a hefty wardrobe and difficult to kind of pry open there. You can attempt to continue if you'd like, but it's not exactly a completely silent thing to try to do.
She's already tried it twice. I think she's gonna cut her losses at this point.
Okay. All right. Where to now?
I think at this point she's got enough ideas. She's still in the nun costume, so she's just gonna try and make her way out.
All right.
Back through the hallway.
There is you can see light passing underneath the door that leads into the foyer and even out into the hallway beyond. So how are you gonna sneak out? Like the way you came, or are you gonna try a different route?
I would say the way we came. We're in the nun costume. We should be able to.
Right.
Should be the window's tempting, but I think we feel like we look good enough to get out.
All right. Excellent. Okay. Well, if you're trying to avoid detection, you can roll stealth. Otherwise, we'll just see what happens. So you're sneaking out, or you're like, I'm a nun and boldly striding out?
Let's casual nun, not bold nun, but yes.
None.
Casual.
All right. You stride out of the office. There is a small lantern or like a reading lamp that's on the table, and it's there's like a book that's open next to it, and the door to the hallway beyond is open. But there's no one in the foyer at the moment, other than the evidence of their former presence. what do you do from here?
The lantern's coming from where again?
It's next to one of the couches that's in this foyer. It was not on when you came in here. It was not lit, and one of the books that was just sort of arranged decoratively is open, and it looked like maybe someone was reading it. But the doorway to the hall is open.
Probably walk just a little bit more carefully. So
Okay. Stepping out into the hall.
yeah.
Okay. In either direction, you don't see anyone. There is light coming from the end that you haven't gone to yet, like further down the hallway that you haven't been to. Looks like maybe someone's carrying another lamp or maybe a candle or something. But from the direction of the stairs that you came from, there's no light, and you don't see any movement.
Keep pushing. Keep getting out of there.
Keep
Yeah.
All right. Sounds good. And you reach the staircase that leads down into the dormitories. I'm assuming you take it.
Yeah.
Okay. As you get down to that ground floor, you can hear a lot more sort of going on. It sounds like there are people walking about the hallways. There's shouting or loud talking coming from like the opposite side of the temple that just sort of echoes through the empty halls towards you. You can go south into the temple, which is where you come from, or you can go east and sort of through the rest of the dorms and onward towards the infirmary, which is where the loud voices are coming from.
Let's go towards the infirmary where the loud voices are coming from.
Okay. Making your way towards the infirmary. Now, York, you had left the Wolf's Head on a mission from Jerry. Do you go straight there, straight to the temple, or
I imagine I'd probably grab a change of shirt. Are these rags? I guess I still pick them up. Do they stink something awful?
Yeah. They seem like they need to be burned. They're oily. They've whatever color they originally were. It's difficult to tell. They're now sort of a dark, almost yellowish brown, and have an acrid ammonia odor to them that's just absolutely foul and quite distinctive.
I'll throw it down in my room. Does it, like, knowing Mel a little bit, if I gave it to her, would she maybe be able to get some trace things off it, or maybe be able to tell where it's been? So I don't want to throw it away if it's going to give some clues. I don't want to be carrying around like used toilet paper, basically.
Right.
I do have a little bit of chemistry.
Yeah. I'll chuck them in my like grotty little flat. I'll leave it in the bowl or something. The pot that I piss in at night, and then I'll quickly grab a shirt and come out. So it'll literally be a minute in, minute out.
Gotcha.
And then I'll head back.
Head back over. The city at this time of night is utterly quiet and dark. There are some sections of the city that keep lamps lit and the like, but it's not like a modern city with well lit streets at night and the like. The alleys here are incredibly dark, and just from being here the short time that you have, very dangerous. That's where footpads and cut purses and worse sort of hang out. The broad streets are a bit easier to navigate. You at least get the light of the stars and the moon shining in. And does York go straight there, or are you taking a detour?
Unless I on the way back, unless I saw any streets that look particularly tricky or like it might have any trouble in, I'll just head a fairly normal way. I probably won't go like straight up to the entrance where I was spotted before. Maybe I'll actually approach the building down the side or something like that. To not obviously go, oh, it's you, the guy that accosted several people.
Right. Now, when York and Van and Jerry had left, y'all used the alternate entrance, so you do know where that comes out of.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe I'll walk past there and just maybe I'll have a glance and see if they look like they're looking for anyone, just to see what's going on.
Wait just a second. And so as you near the temple, there is a loud kind of raucous group of masked individuals coming your way. There's about 6 of them. They look to be young men, and you can tell that at least 2 of them are armed with sort of small swords. It's a type of rapier that's a bit more tolerated within the city. Kind of decorative, but no less dangerous. A fashion item and a weapon.
Is there anyone else in the alley behind me? Does it look like they're going to walk straight into me?
It looks like that they're sort of like using this as a shortcut, and not necessarily like looking for you. You're not even sure that they've spotted you. They're rather loud and kind of like talking to each other, and don't seem to be paying that much attention to where they're going. They also seem incredibly drunk.
I think I'll have to if they're not looking like they're hunting for anyone. I don't think I have anything particular value on me. So maybe I'll just keep my head down and keep walking by. Okay. I'll maybe keep my dagger and my purse just kind of tucked into my palm or against my waist where I can feel it. But other than that, I'll try and walk by. Okay.
As they walk by you, one of them towards the end goes, "Cool, you smell like absolute piss. Like, did you just piss yourself because you were so drunk?" And then the rest of them start like just laughing, and the back half of them kind of turn their attention to York as they sort of make fun of the lingering odor of the rags that you carried.
I imagine he probably takes like 3 steps, and he's like, "You can let this go, York. It's fine." But then something just kind of like a vein goes in his head.
Uh-huh.
It's probably your wife's pussy.
2 of them.
I've just got cramp in my leg. I tensed it so fucking hard. Oh.
2 of them are taken aback and stifle a laugh, but the one that you were talking to is like, huh, "What? You can't talk about my betrothed that way. What do you know about that?" And you can see him step up to York and appear to be belligerent and drunk. "You better take that back."
I'm really sorry. I don't know what came over. It was your mother, wasn't it?
All right. Here, he takes a swing at York. Let's roll initiative. So that's going to be
Press F's. Press F. This is
Here
how
we
it
go.
goes.
This is how York gets. Ooh, I go first here. All right. So we're using a different. We're using this as a sort of a who goes first. Not quite combat, because it's only this guy attacking York. The others just seem to be laughing and kind of egging him on. And so he takes a swing at you. And let me see. Bringing up my character sheet real quick. And we'll just use this guy. There we go. That's a big miss.
Yeah, so I imagine kind of York just takes a step back.
Yeah, go ahead and roll. Let's go ahead and roll me an opposed weapon skill just to see if maybe in his drunkenness he manages to connect, because otherwise.
Is this basic or just melee? I'm not sure of the difference.
This would be a melee. if I'm remembering right.
Oh, that is a even bit. That's a 95.
Right.
I punched myself.
Right, so he like just he throws his. It's one of those drunk punches where he like the fist almost seems to like drag the rest of his body with him, and he half punches, half body checks York as the two of you go into like just a heap on the wall in this alley, right? Like he kind of pushes you into the wall, sort of slumped against you. He's clearly drunk and is on his way down to the ground. But that was, let's see, the relative degrees here. I think York's going to take, let's see here. What was your, how many success levels did York get? Or rather, how many negative success levels?
So that you can't say bad things.
About 6 levels of failure. Quite a failure.
Okay.
Spectacular.
Right.
Even.
In that case, right. In that case, York is going to take 5 damage to location 27.
Jesus, flipping heck.
Yeah, remember you had your toughest bonus to.
Oh yeah,
That's what you can muster. Jesus flipping heck! I thought you
You gotta balance it out.
It's a family show, Will. Come on, Jesus.
Yeah.
It's
really
okay
is
to look
apparently,
at about people's family.
Yeah,
Don't
I think
be a
there's
cunt.
actually.
Do I
Charlie's face.
do I get a chance to react now, or is he knock me?
He's gone. Yeah, I mean, you can go. He's attempted to attack. This would be brawl if it had a grouping in it. I knew there was a specific unarmed one, but yeah, he's going down. Drunk. His friends are laughing, but it is like loud, and you can see people that are on the main street, like the 1 or 2 people walking around, sort of like looking in the alley to sort of see what's going on. How does York respond?
I imagine it kind of knocks him for 6. He didn't expect this to happen. He didn't think that someone would have such a strong reaction, so he's a little bit puzzled and a little bit knocked back. I think he's gonna kind of try and stick a punch in, but like because he's got his dagger hidden in his like pocket in his shirt, I'm gonna try and stab him through my own clothing, so it's not obvious to like his friends that I'm obviously stabbing him.
Okay, all right. Let's go ahead and make that roll.
The old sneaky stab. Oh my god, that is 100. That is the actual highest possible failure that anyone could get.
I just remind you at this point, Jim, for no particular reason, that Gareth has 4 nat 1s on his face.
I mean, I felt like I should probably use them at some point, but I felt like I don't know,
Literally,
That is a
too
nat
yet.
1. That is the big. That is a nat 1, right? It's failing as much as I can. Yeah.
Right. Okay, so this nothing. You attempt to stab at him. He's not really in a position to like retaliate or do something. Your dagger thrust misses, but he also doesn't really seem to have known that you're trying to hurt him. He just thought you're trying to like elbow him or push him or something. His friends are laughing at the two of you as you're rolling around on this gross street after the first day of carnival. It's covered in just spilled ale and puke and of course the viscera and gore from all the pets that have died this evening and been captured and the like. The two of you are rolling around on that at this point, York and this unknown drunkard. Let's see. So you got that. You tried to stab, nothing else. And my man's going to try to get up and punch you again. He's kind of like on his knees, swaying back and forth as he just does a haymaker, like completely not in form attack. And that is going to be, I believe, another 4 negative success levels for me, York. Oof. This is a bad fight.
flailing at each other.
Just like,
This is a drunken back alley brawl.
I'm not even the drunk one.
but you don't even drunk yet.
Even better.
right. Let's see here. So
Drunk by proxy.
right, yeah. The attack ends, and let's see. There was that's how many success levels? I think it's like another 5 for another 5 damage for York at location 67.
Jesus. Yep. I start to get pulverized, and I'm guessing that little wound on my face looks it pales in comparison to how my body's being kind of tenderized now.
Now there is a light that is approaching the alleyway. York can see a pool of light from the main street that's coming that way, and you can hear many boots on the cobblestones that are headed in York's direction. It is your turn.
Again, I'm not sure whether I'd know this. Does it sound like military boots, or does this sound like, are they making a lot of noise when they're coming, or could it, do I think it's military or the guard, or do I think it's just another gang?
It's probably the watch. The watch at night tends to carry around these really large lanterns on poles that provide a lot of illumination, whereas most people either just don't go out or use smaller lanterns and the likes, that they're not as obvious. But the watch carries these giant pole lanterns basically to really light up the place. And yeah, that's probably your best guess. The watch.
I will reach inside my cloak. I will slit my own coin purse, and I'll start screaming, "Guards! God, this motherfuckers! They're trying to rob me!" As I kind of stand up and my coins fly everywhere.
Okay, all right. If you start calling for the watch, the boots, the sound of the boots picks up, and the first of several watchmen with they have these sort of stout quarterstaffs. They're armed with swords, but they tend to use clubs and quarterstaffs unless someone else has a weapon out. And one of them at the back has this long pole with a lantern on the end of it, and 3 of them run around the corner and start yelling at the group of you to stop right there. What's going on? You still can do something if you like. You still have a bit of an action left.
I'm gonna cower like I'm a poor man that's been mugged today.
Okay. The rest of the gang.
Can I say if one of them tries to bolt, I'm just gonna put my foot out and try and trip him as well.
Sure.
Like if the guy I've been fighting with, try and trip him so he gets floored.
All right. Let's see for that one. Let's make a strength check for York to see if you can trip him up. As they all attempt to flee. Nobody wants to get tangled up with the watch.
57. That's not going to be a success because I'm weak. That is 2 degrees of failure.
Yeah, I'm gonna roll his agility against that. Oh gosh. For me, that's 4 degrees of failure.
Yes!
So there's there's this tussle, right? York is dodging or attempting to dodge these hits and sort of taking these glancing blows. The gang of these drunkards begins to run away, and one of them sort of trips and falls, smacks his head onto the cobblestone before kind of getting back up and crawling away. The watch is there with York. You're not attempting to flee or anything, are you?
No. I'm acting like the innocent party here.
Right. A pair of them, a pair of the watch, take off after the fleeing drunkards, and the third one is sort of kneels down next to York. Are you all right? There's cut purses and a head.
Look at my beautiful face. Look at what they did to me. You should stop them and really fuck them up.
Yes, we'll pursue them. It's dangerous out here. Well, I mean, yes. What is are you getting up? Are you waiting for them to assist you?
I'll kind of stand up a little bit. I'll pick up a couple of smaller coins and I'll palm them. No, I mean when you get him, really give him one from me, and I'll palm it, like give him a handshake.
Yeah. There's a wink from the watchman. Watchmen of Mindenheim of late are notoriously, what you call them? Corrupt isn't necessarily the right word, but it fits.
Friendly.
Yes, they are for sale. And, he takes your coin and squeezes your hand and, well, I'd hate to see a citizen like yourself be accosted at night. We'll get these ruffians. All these Southies coming out of the neighborhoods, just making streets rough for everybody. All respectable folk, and they kind of like help you get up and dust you off a bit. It looks like there's a larger group of them that are still out in the street, though. They haven't the watchmen, that is, that are still out there.
Yeah, you haven't seen Elf Lady around, have you? She's a friend of mine. We got split up. I made sure she was safe and didn't get attacked by these guys, but I wasn't so lucky myself.
No elves. No, we've got our own business this evening. Thank you very much. But we'll pursue these thieves, and you'll be certain that justice will be delivered.
Like, if you don't mind me asking, what's going on tonight? Is it all down to this dogs and cats mess?
Oh, that's nothing. Just some folk have a bit too much to drink and get excited and sometimes they just they don't get it out except all year, and now it's carnival, and so they feel like they can do whatever they want, I guess. But I wouldn't worry about these cats and dogs. Nothing to it. You got a bounty to collect, though?
Most of the animals seem dead. It's just a bizarre thing. Have you not made any money on the side? May I ask what they're doing with them when they're all there? Do they just chuck them in a pit and burn them, or?
That's a good question. Give me a fellowship roll real quick, just to sort of let me gauge his reaction, because he seems taken aback at first by oof. He seems at first taken aback by the question, and well, I guess I never really thought of it, and suppose they could put him into a soup or something, and then he just sort of like wildly speculating from it, make belts out of the skin. But citizen, you don't need to concern yourself with that. You go on your way and stay out of these alleys. It's dangerous stuff.
Yeah, some really dodgy people around, and I'll pick up the rest of my coin,
okay.
And I'll head on.
You can see that your assailant had dropped some things on the pavement as well. It looks like.
Yeah, that'll be one fluid motion. Like, okay. This is all mine. I'll pick it up, especially if it's got anything of his name on, because I want to get this guy back.
Yeah. Let's see. Let me make a note real quick. And with that, unless there's anything else you want to do with the watch, they some of them look like they pursued to the end of the alley, but they came back and they're like, well, looks like they got away. And
unless I can see they've got
your buddy just kind of shrugs at you. Guess they got away.
Unless they've got any particular, like they look like they're headed somewhere, I might keep an eye on where they're headed, or if they're gathering in certain streets. But other than that, I'll just head to try and find Mel.
So this was sort of like you're passing through the Temple District on your way to the West End, and they're fleeing north. That's the Grafsmund Nordgarden district. That's like the rich part of town that they fled towards. But if York's otherwise going to be on his way, you pass by the cemetery and the temple to Moor, and then beyond that is the temple to Shalia, where you find yourself, and it appears as though it is a buzz with activities. Or certainly a buzz with activity, as there are orderlies and the like sort of running around. It's the middle of the night, but the place is lit up. You can see lights on in many of the dormitory windows, as well as the infirmary, and there are people milling about the front entrance. You said you were going to like try to sneak around and enter a different way, yes?
Yeah, so if I walk past that other entrance that we snuck out of, is there anyone there at all at the moment?
Not there. No, not there. Not that alternate entrance.
Yeah, so if I've looked at both entrances, there's no sign of Mel at all.
I don't know. Let's see what Mel's been up to this whole time. So Mel, you descended the stairs. You're in the sort of the dormitory below the offices there. Like I said, you could have gone south towards the temple, but you decided to go over towards the voices near the infirmary. You pass by orderlies who don't give your disguise a second glance at all. They just tend to stay out of your way. But as you get closer, you can hear a voice. Now, all right, I'm going to repeat this for all you, because I know some of you been enjoying Carnival a bit too much, and takes a couple of minutes, a couple of repetitions. So, listen again. Someone escaped from here, and he's dangerous because he's sick. And as a dwarf, there are lots of dwarves in the city. We don't want to upset anyone by making a big fuss out of it, or the like. So, just if you see him, got white hair, thin little beard. It's kind of a scrawny looking dwarf, but tough. And we want to find him because, like I said, he's sick, and we need to bring him back here. This speech goes on as what the person saying it is clearly struggling with, to deliver this message, and it keeps tripping over large words and things like that. You can tell that it's coming from the main, sort of the main floor of the infirmary. This is Mel.
Can I find somebody unconscious to pretend to attend to while I'm listening in?
Sure. Yeah, there's several. There's actually a lot of people there who just need help. As you enter into the main floor, you see a group of about 15 or so orderlies, as well as some people that you don't really recognize as being part of the temple. Maybe they're students from the Guild of Physicians, and they're all kind of paying attention to this one orderly who is just sort of like red-faced and sweaty and partially out of breath. Now, is there any questions from anyone about what you're supposed to do if you see this guy? And there's a lot of staring at the feet and shuffling around. No questions. They don't really seem to be paying attention to Mel.
I don't know if there's much for me to do with that. I'm gonna start making my way slowly towards the door, but pretending like I'm working.
Okay. Yeah, you're not doing anything out of the ordinary. They don't really notice you. After about another 5 minutes or so, the group breaks up and seems to go off on their separate ways. And a lot of the lights in the place start being lit and illuminating the temple. And then as you're in the infirmary there, you can just sort of tell that the temple is waking up a bit. And there are sounds of activity that are coming from other rooms, lots of movement, lots of what looks suspiciously like patrols and guards by these orderlies and some of the lower ranking members of the Physicians Guild.
Is this gonna make me worried about if I'm able to sneak out or not? Or
no one's bothered you yet. You look like a nun.
All right, let's try to leave then.
Okay. Leave through the front door.
Yeah, like we're gonna go on some helping people mission something if we get stopped.
All right.
Charity and stuff.
Yeah.
And things.
Sure. Indeed, you are. There are 4 orderlies that are outside the front of the temple who, as Mel attempts to walk out, sort of stop you. They're like, no, ma'am.
Shit.
Sorry, sister. Are you okay? It's awfully late. Can't just go walking out like this at night.
There's an elderly man across town that, he's bedbound that I go to check on around this time because he doesn't keep very good hours, so he's just waking up,
Oh, yes. Go ahead and make me a fellowship roll for this one. Charm, if you have it.
I have cool, I don't have charm.
This would definitely be like a charm, sort of smooth talk your way past.
So, 38. No. Hold on. I'm gonna stop using the copy pasta. It's not working.
It's not working. There we go. All right.
So,
55. So what's your fellowship?
38.
Yeah. We can't in good conscience let you out into the city in the middle of the night without an escort. Horst here will follow you. Make sure you're safe. And you see another younger orderly come forward and work to escort Mel. I'd like York to make me a perception test to see if you perhaps see all this as you stop by the front of the building. But well, York walks right past it on his way towards the rear entrance.
God damn it, York.
2 steps in a
Mel.
We're gonna be stuck with this fucking orderly.
I probably walk by. Where the fuck is she?
Right, yeah. You sort of like see a nun and an orderly walk by out into the streets to go collect some drunks for the infirmary. All right. As all of that's going on at the temple and the surrounding environs, those of you who are out on the street, there's definitely more watch patrols that you notice. Normally, they sort of patrol the major thoroughfares and the like, but this one is. They seem like they're out in force this evening. Those of you at the Wolf's Head, some time passes in quiet. Ferris is sleeping. Rold seems to have calmed down somewhat, and when left to his own devices, just sort of retreats into himself and is very quiet and unassuming. Dankred is nervous beyond all reason, and by the end of the impromptu parade that Molly and Jerry and Van have with him, he is like sweating and shaking.
He marched him out of mid time and he marched him back again.
He does the whole up and down. My knees, it's
Down
hard on my
straight, he
knees.
does the up and down over tables.
Yes, he's got to go up over chairs and a table.
And Van is slinging his mug around, just chunking mead to this side and that of the bar. Like,
right, some of the regulars there have livened up a bit, and even at this late hour, the Wolf's Head rings out with song and merriment. But Dankred is clearly, I understand that you didn't want me, you didn't want me bringing your paw back in, but are you guys gonna let me go?
You're one of us now. Proud.
You.
You're part of the gang.
You just got to pay your fees to Jerry and you're good to go.
Yeah.
I don't. I mean, I don't. What are the dues? I don't want any. I don't want any part.
Why not, mate?
I mean,
What's wrong with us?
you guys,
Hey, you like
y'all
our
seem.
club?
No, you seem like you're nice people, but I don't want any part of this. Whatever you have going on here.
You don't
Got
like
parties
it.
going on here, mate. Parades and shit, yeah.
Like it's
From
not.
the sounds
It's
of
not
it,
just
you're
a
the one
parade.
that's kidnapping people's family. I'm
I don't.
northern now.
He's sick. He's
That's
sick.
true.
He's sick. We were told to go get him and bring him back because he's not well. And
Yeah,
he just
yeah.
like he clearly is on the edge of some kind of breakdown here, as he is only assuming he's going to be disappeared by a Westie or an East End gang.
As soon as you finish up clearing your juice, call it 50 groats, and then you're done.
Oh,
Like
okay.
York.
Oh, 50.
You're like New York. He's probably dead.
Oh yeah.
Oh yes.
So-
yes, Gary, this could be the New York, as opposed to the old one.
All right.
This one is better looking.
He eyes Molly nervously. I mean, how much is 50? Like how long do I have to work that off? What
I can
do I
work
need
it
to
off a
do?
number of ways, mate. Several ways we can work out a financing plan that suits your needs. Now, how much money do you have on you right now?
And I don't have any money
Okay,
on me right
that's a
now.
good start. Don't worry about that. How much money does your dad have?
I don't have a paw.
All right. Well, what do you have?
I gave you everything I had. I just knew about the entrance to the temple in the basement. I don't know anything really. And now he realizes the position that he's in and starts to get very quiet.
Jerry, don't they have like good medicines and stuff at that temple? That could be good.
I do. Yeah,
Oh,
you can do a lot with medicines. Sort them, sniff them, lick them, drink them.
What medicine?
we have
Yeah.
lots of medicine.
How much that medicine
medicine.
worth, do you reckon? Like a cabinet of it.
Mel would be pleased with a cabinet.
Oh, medicine. Yes, I can get you medicine. No problem. That's worth a lot.
Yeah.
A lot.
All right. You get me a lot of medicine, son, and we're clear.
Right now.
Yeah. Yeah, you're good to go.
Pretty soon.
Oh, the Abbey's open, isn't it?
Yes. Okay. I'll go. I'll go.
Yeah,
and
you
get the
go.
medicine.
Get
and
your
I'll be right
medicine.
back.
Yeah, be right back. And if you don't, for whatever reason, I do know your name, Danqueed.
Yes.
I know where to find you.
I'm good for it. I won't. I'll be right back. I promise.
Wait,
All right then.
what is your name? That's not what you told me your name was.
Thank
My
you,
name is
kid.
Sacred.
Well, he's lying to one of us, Jerry.
Yeah. Well,
Vanna looking. Why does he have that weird accent when he says his name? I don't get it.
all right.
It's foreigner.
Suspect. for
Tancred
sure.
begins to make his way towards the door, and as he does, the shadows within the wolf's head noticeably dim, and it gets much darker in here.
Oh, Jerry, that reminds me. Your missus came in earlier. Told her you were out
I
with
am a
Baza.
missus.
Well, she said she was your missus. Who the hell was she?
Which one? What's her name?
Emma?
Oh,
Emily?
yeah, that's the one. Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, no, she is.
Oh, well, I told her you were with Baza. Because good luck to her finding Baza. I can't find Baza.
Mate, ain't no one seen Baza since 95.
Is it dark in here?
It's a bit dark in here since Dagwee left.
He's still
Figure
here.
it would brighten up
He
a
just
bit.
is like, he's
They get dark in
Yeah.
here.
Gunther, light the
Dude.
candles back up.
everybody make me a perception roll here.
Zhong.
Yeah.
Yes, not good.
Oof.
Oof. Oh, 12, actually, I succeed.
That's 3 degrees of failure for me.
Uh-huh.
Man is staring into his mug, wondering where all of his mead went.
Yeah, there is a muffled something coming from the back. Jerry hears it.
Wait, sign out back. I'll check it out.
Oh. Can I
Found
go?
it at your dad
Can I
again.
leave?
You go
Ooh,
get
hey,
your
Princess
medicine.
from a-
Christmas
from a
medicine.
shadow.
Hurry up.
Why are you
Oh,
still
yes.
here, mate?
Oh, yeah. And he bolts out the door into the night.
I figured he was already back with it. Oh. And he gets up at Jerry's pointing out of the sound and starts heading to the back room.
Okay. So Jerry and Van are heading to the back room again. How about Molly?
Yeah, Molly's gonna like peer in. She'll be like taking a broom and pretending she's not, but she's totally gonna go see what's going on.
Okay. So Molly's got a broom. The back room is dark. Whatever light normally kind of shines in through some of the windows, it's not illuminating the room at all. It seems as though the shadows in here have pooled into deep darkness, and you really can't make out what exactly is in here, or even necessarily anything more than the general shapes of shadows.
Appears we'll need a torch. And Van starts
Why's
looking
it been
around
this
for
dark
like
in here?
yeah. He's gonna start looking for a lantern or a torch.
Okay. There are several in the room that you know of. But one of them should be lit. But it is not.
He'll make a move to go light one back.
Okay. How about Jerry?
I'll go with him.
Okay.
Is
There
anyone
is
in here
a-
that kind of fuck out? Sean?
I've got night vision. Does that help as I peer in?
It helps somewhat. It takes the edge of the darkness off, but you're used to sort of like really dark rooms, things like that. This seems different, particularly those of you both with night vision. This you would expect to be able to see in here, and while you can, it's not as clear and well lit as normally you would need. Molly's got a broom. Van was moving to find a light source. And then Jerry, you were sort of in the room, but not necessarily doing anything.
Right, yeah. I'm gonna shouting at the darkness to see if it
Standard.
responds.
There is another muffled sort of sound that all of you can hear from further into the room. So the back of the Wolf's Head really is like 3 interjoining rooms. There's the one that Mel uses as her kind of sawbones back alley surgery theater, the storeroom for the Wolf's Head proper, which is where you're at now, and then like the back room which opens up onto the moon door, which is, it gets kind of used, but it's sort of known that that's the Jerry's room, kind of. That's where you all heard the sound come from, and it is where you last saw Rold and Van. Or sorry, not Van, Ferris.
It's from back there. I'm going in.
Yes, let me try to find a light or something. And he starts moving towards one of the lanterns, like holding his hand out to feel if there's heat. This is starting to get weird.
There is heat. It is lit.
Oh. torches are lit, Jerry. Where's the light?
I don't know, mate. I don't like it.
And Van's gonna
Stand me
kinda
up.
pull. Yeah, Van's gonna pull out his pistol and begin loading it.
Okay.
Molly is gonna lean the broom down and gonna reach into her little holster and pull out her knife.
Okay.
I'm drawing a weapon at this point as well. Probably
All
just like a club.
Okay. Jerry's got a club, knife. Who's opening the door?
Yeah, I'll open it up.
Okay. As you open it up, you can sense movement in the dark. You don't hear the sound of Van snoring, or sorry, not Van, Ferris snoring, like the last
I do snore
time.
like my father, though.
That's true.
It's a dwarf thing.
But the odor in here is powerful. Even more so than when Rold was just in here himself. It's a ammonia scent that just immediately hits your nose and assaults you with its potency.
I reach into my pockets and I pull out one of my little candle stubs I always got with me, and I just light it with a match, because that usually works when you go into nasty smelling places, right?
Yep. There is a brief spark that quickly dims to bare visibility.
Fag's got out.
My candle's not working.
All right.
Work back out.
I extract the darkness. Who the fuck's in here then?
Shh. You hear from the darkness.
Yourself.
Yeah, shut the fuck up. Wait, who is that?
I don't know. I can't see.
Perish.
Oh,
Oh shit.
All right.
They've come for us. And you can't stop them. And you then hear
Who's coming for us?
a stabbing sound.
Oh, come on me, mate.
southeast. Gotta be them southeast.
Fuck.
Yeah,
There's
throw down a
movement,
cigarette.
there's movement from further in the room, and as you hear a sort of stabbing sound, it's wet and penetrating. I'd like for us to go ahead and roll initiative so that we kind of get some structure here. 4.
Bring it on then, Sam.
Yeah. Let's see. Because this is not just like a one-on. So because this isn't a one-on-one thing, we're going to do this by just rolling a single D10, adding your initiative bonus, kind of like we did the last season instead, but agility.
11.
11. Van is 11.
Is my initiative bonus.
Wait, I'm sorry. You said added agility?
Sorry,
Initiative.
no. Last year we did agility. Use initiative like
Oh.
we used agility last year. Sorry, or not last year.
11.
Goodness.
11.
Yeah, 11.
How long
Very,
ago was that game?
I don't remember. I barely remember last week. And then what about for Molly then?
7.
Okay, so 7.
I was using the wrong command. I was
Gotcha.
using it for that other virtual tabletop.
Yes. Understood. We
Don't get him
speak up.
started, all right?
Oh,
Because
I
he'll fucking
know.
go off any second.
I will. I'll have a talk. All right.
Just waiting for the
so-
tweet storm. Jeez.
Right. So there's going to be I want initiative, but it's going to be Van, Molly, and then Jerry. So Van, there's this sound, right? There's a flutter of shadowy movement across the room, and then this sound of something something stabbing. It's your go. You can tell where the movement is coming from, but not exactly who is doing it and exactly what is going on. You know where you last left Rold and Ferris. And the movement is coming from over where Ferris would be sleeping.
Okay, well, that was going to be my question. In that case, Van is even into the dark. He's going to move over there to check on his father.
Okay.
I mean, I do have night vision, so I can see a little better.
You can see a little better. It's I'm gonna try in sort of like rules terms. It's your night vision is just not as it's like you're a human in this room, as opposed to like a human in a normally dark room is what it's like for you.
People like this. Yeah.
Van makes his way over there, and you can see the emaciated figure of Rold hunched over what you think is your father.
No! And I'm gonna actually, even though I have he doesn't want to shoot his father, so he's gonna use the pistol like a club and just kind of like swing it around and try to hit him with the butt of it and get him off of stat.
Okay. All right, then. It does not appear as Rold is attempting to either notice you or the like, so you gain advantage from attacking a surprised enemy, and you're, I don't know, just don't like roll double or something. Like, you get like a plus 40 to hit him as well, so you have the advantage plus the 40.
Okay,
14 to hit.
Yeah, I've rolled a 14, so just normally I have 3 degrees of success.
Okay.
My melee basic's 46, so that's, you said another 4? So 7
Right, it's an
degrees.
easy task to hit, yes. Mm-hmm. 7.
So 7 degrees.
Right. And then that's location 41, so that's what the...
right arm.
Right arm, as you sort of like swing. You catch him high in the shoulder, right? Like almost, and sort of like skips off that and almost glances Rolled in the head as well as you club him. 7 degrees of success. Club damage is, I don't know if anybody knows that off the top of their head. Otherwise, I'm going to treat it as a hand weapon. So you'd add your.
Yeah, I mean, a hammer's
strength
plus 7, so.
Yeah, let's go ahead and add your.
5 or 6.
Yeah. You got your strength bonus to that as well?
Oh, yeah, I think that's with my strength bonus.
All right. Rolled goes flying as you smash him in the shoulder and sort of like glance him at the base of his head. And as he does, you can hear something metallic clatter across the wooden floor of the back room and go sliding across it. That's what you hear. So Van is sort of standing over what you think is your father, who's not making any noise, not snoring, nothing. And Rolled is just... knew they would come and they can't. You'll never do anything. You can't stop them. They're gonna control it all. And he, you can hear him scrambling and like knocking things over in the dark as he goes. Molly, it's your turn.
Who the fuck are these people? And she's like waving her dagger around, not really sure what she's meant to do in this situation. She's just defensively trying not to get shanked herself.
Okay.
Who was here? What's going on?
The masters are here, and I must earn their favor or otherwise. More crashing from the dark ahead of Molly, off to Van's left. So are you doing anything, Molly? Or you're just sort of like keeping a defensive stance?
I don't know if you can hold your action in Warhammer, but effectively, like, if someone gets within stabbing distance, I'll stab them, but I'm not actively going to go towards the crazy guy.
Gotcha.
In previous experience, not a good idea.
Understood. Yeah, we'll let you do that. So you're sort of like, if someone comes at you, you're ready to attack, but otherwise not going after them. How about Jerry?
Oh, I'm going to swing towards the darkness where I hear noise, and I don't get who it is I'm going to hit. I'm going to hit someone. Or something.
Okay. All right. Sounds
I
good.
attack the darkness.
You attack the darkness.
Jerry's ammo right there.
All right. That sounds like charging into combat, which will get you an advantage, which is obviously a plus 10 to your melee stat there. And then let's see. Let's go ahead and roll there for Jerry.
Let's see, that is a hit. 49 plus 10 is a hit.
49 plus 10 is a hit. And then how many degrees of success did Jerry get?
That is just 1 degree of success.
All right. So Jerry comes over. I got, let's see, I got one negative level of success for my sort of attempt to defend myself. So there's just this kind of, Jerry, I guess you go over and attempt to attack. You had a club, yes?
That is correct, yeah. I smack him with a club or whatever it is.
And you, like, sort of connect with them in the dark. So that's going to be 2 plus your strength and weapon damage.
Okay, so weapon damage on a club with the 7, did we say?
Yeah.
7 strength is 3, 10 plus 2, 12.
All right. You connect hard with something that is not particularly solid, and can feel flesh and bone kind of give way underneath your club. And Rold lets out a piercing scream in the midst of his cackling. He's like, ah! And you can tell that he's sort of near Jerry. He's still near you, but is scrambling for something and trying to get out of your reach.
Get fucked, mate!
So I was like, slamming.
My turn.
He's over here!
All right. Get him! All right. There's a sound of metal scraping off the floor, and in the dim light that is in here, you catch just a brief glimpse of something as Rold takes a swipe at Jerry. So we're going to need to make an opposed test. Oh, God.
Okay.
All right. That's like 7 negative levels for myself.
That's like 2 negative levels for me.
All right, so the attack ends, and there we go. Let's see here. He loses his bandage, does that, and all right, that was that. You hear shuffling in the dark. There's stuffing knocked over, barrels and empty kegs that are getting sort of crashing to the ground. Van, it's your turn.
Well, Van is over his father, and all that, whatever's going on, is kind of probably just kind of falls to the back of his focus, and he's just going to be like, Father, Ferris, and kind of shaking and trying to get a little closer to maybe see if he can make out what's going on with his dad.
You can tell that your dad is bleeding. As you sort of like feel him, your hand comes back. There's hot liquid on it that smells of blood. You can see your father, though, as he looks rigid and not moving, but his eyes are open. As you kind of like get close, he seems paralyzed almost, or even just catatonic.
Okay. Yeah. I'm gonna try to get him out of here.
Okay. So Van, you're gonna attempt to
pick him up and move back towards Molly, and head back towards the proper bar where at least there was a little light.
Okay. So you're dragging Van back through the other storeroom into the main tap room, which at this point you can sort of see through the doors that Gunther is standing in that doorway with his own stout club, trying to peer into the darkness and see what's going on. So that's what Van does. Molly, no one has attacked you, but you can hear Jerry and what you I guess maybe assume is Rold scuffling not too far ahead of you in the dark.
I turn my head really quick and I say to Gunther to go out and come in through the moon door. And then I want to charge into the darkness to help Jerry out because I have a knife. And Van's trying to retreat, so I'll cover that.
Sounds good. Charging, get you an advantage, and then go ahead and make that roll.
29. Let me see what my skill is. Sorry, I'm on the wrong part of my sheet. 37. So that would be just a regular success. Yeah. Hang on, plus 10. So that's 1 success level.
1 success level. I got 2 success levels myself. from that. So yeah, he dodges out of the way at the last minute of Molly's attack, ending your advantage and ending the action there, which makes it Jerry's turn. Although imagine the two of them will still, I guess, are still scuffling
I imagine
about.
like Molly kind of went over, and as she got there, Jerry maybe like pulled him slightly out of the way, and rolled kind of.
Yes. Let's see.
And Jim,
here.
you
So,
forgot the secret fourth room out the back of the Wolf's Head.
Oh, was there a fourth room?
Yeah, which would be our lavatory room, which is a giant hole, fancy, which is known as the murder hole, incidentally.
I did forget that. Yes. The outbuilding. So as Jerry and Rold and Molly scramble in the dark to kind of like overpower Rold,
Can I maybe do some sort of perception to see if there's anyone else, like a danger sense type thing?
Sure. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Alright. 1d100. 41. That's my perception. No. Level 1 fail.
Mm-hmm.
1 degree.
There's a lot of strange shadows in here. Whether it's because Roll did something to like move things around or what. There's just a lot of deep and unidentifiable shadows.
Like when you're like half awake stumbling around your house at night and it's all a bit weird.
Yeah, it's like, what is that thing over there? And it's late. You guys have been out for a bit.
Yeah, my hangover started to kick in because I haven't had a drink in 5 minutes.
Right.
I'm serious.
So we'll get back to Jerry's turn here in a second, whenever Will gets back. But let's see. Rold is attempting to flee past Molly and Jerry and seems to be like trying to push himself, sort of like squeeze between the two of you and get to where Van and Ferris are going. So I'm gonna say that is a strength test, and judging between the two of you, he's definitely trying to take down Molly because he's like, I'm not gonna mess with that. So I need us to make opposed strength rolls for Molly. Ooh, Roll is. Oh man. Roll got 1 degree of success.
That's his strength. That's 1 degree of success for me too. Like 1.5 degrees of success for me.
Right. So it sounds like that Rold and Molly are sort of like tangled up as he attempts to power his way past her, and doesn't necessarily like get past, but kind of like knocks Molly off balance and is otherwise tangled. The two of you are sort of tangled up momentarily
I can hear
in each other.
Singing. One has
Yes, that's
survived
my
the Great
cat. That is
Massacre.
my cat. You can hear her. She's very upset that we were gone for several days, and she is loud as shit. So yes, that's my cat. You probably won't see her, but you'll definitely hear her.
Kim is legit torturing animals right now. We've got the evidence. Peter, move in now.
Go. I got a stone
There's still
table and
one
everything.
cat left in Middenheim.
Right. All right, so Jerry, we were waiting. It was your turn. Let's see what happens. Otherwise, Rold is trying to power his way past Molly and get towards Van and Ferris.
I've
But you
nearly got
haven't
him
attempted
stopped.
to.
Really?
Yeah, they're sort of like tangled up in each other. But Jerry can go.
Okay, so Roll's like tangled up in me, right? And we're brawling.
Mhm.
I'm gonna try and bottle him with just a bottle that I have on my person.
Wait, we're in the back
Staring
room.
at
You
it.
could probably just grab one out the crate.
Yeah, I'll just like grab
Straight
a bottle out of the container or whatever and smack him over the head with it. And
Waste
they
of a good
miss.
beer.
Yeah, it's a miss
you
by-
had advantage from the last time, right? So you still have
right,
that plus 10, and then
so-
Molly's there with you, which would make that plus 30 total.
Okay, so that's
So I don't know if
30.
that-
Okay,
that's,
it's just dead on success in that case.
All right.
No,
well, I got something like
Plus or minus.
8 negative success levels. So yeah.
Okay. So it's 2. Oh god, yeah, we have to do math, right, don't we? Doesn't that count into damage?
Someone needs to go ahead and make this into a program that we could upload into a virtual tabletop. Yeah, I know, right? Like
Real nice.
sounds like 8 degrees of success plus strength plus weapon damage.
Okay, 8 plus 2 plus 7 is 17.
Wow. So as all of this kind of happens at once, Rold makes a jump for it. Him and Molly are sort of tangled up. Jerry reaches over and takes like a full bottle of something.
I mean, it's one way to open it.
Tony Reserve.
Right.
That's good luck, though.
And smacks him, hitting Rold in this is actually the same shoulder that Van did. There is a loud snap and a howl of pain from Rold as he goes falling on the floor, and that seems to be it for him. He whimpers after the scream of pain, and a moment or two he does not appear to be getting back up or attempting to make any more of a fight.
Did the bottle break, or did it survive the clubbing? Very important question right now.
Very important. I think that's worth a roll. I don't know. Go ahead and make it. It was a 50-50.
Okay, already done. Cool.
It looks like it's still intact.
Uh-oh.
Club over his face and pull it back. Who else wants some?
I'm getting sober.
You're getting sober. There is a brief moment of quiet after Jerry takes down Rold, and he's just Rold's just whimpering on the floor as Van, as you're trying to like take Ferris out of here. I mean, he's like stiff, like a board, sort of, right? He does not seem to be like pliant in any way, and it is Van's turn.
Well, Van will use this because it's actually easier to carry someone if they're stiff like that. So he'll just kind of like drag him with his heels on the ground and try to just get him into as much light as possible, and just start screaming, "Is York back with Melody yet?" And just looking for a way to help. And he already knows that he's bleeding, so pulls his vest off and starts using that to try to staunch the flow.
Go ahead, Molly.
I was gonna say, I want to kick Rold while he's down because no one gets groped for free, and he clearly doesn't have any money, so gets a good kicking.
Roll like sort of muffled scream as he's kicked. Stop! I can't! Yield, please! And as he is clearly in some pain and terror. There doesn't appear to be any obvious assailant right now, but the darkness still grips the wolf's head. So I'm kind of, as Van moves into the main room with Gunter helps Van take Ferris. He's been stabbed twice, it looks like. They don't appear to be precise or purposeful stabs, or just like anywhere in the dark would do. But his eyes speak of someone who is aware and awake as you bring him into the main tap room. Momentarily, pause in the action, because I want to come back to our other two adventurers over here. And Mel is being escorted home by Horst, the orderly, who is quiet, sullen, but also very watchful. And Mel, you notice on the way home he's very nervous escorting you.
What's got you so nervous there, darling?
What's that? Oh, I'm nothing. I'm not nervous.
Honey, you look like you're about to piss yourself. Something's going on.
Well, the city at night, it's a dangerous place.
Aye, you're not used to the streets around here.
Not at this time. No. And no. You see, she's checking every alley, checking the shadowy doorways, that kind of thing.
I think I'm gonna, being as I can tell he's a little bit inexperienced, and I'm hoping enough of the crew is at the bar, then I'm just gonna take him straight to the bar.
All right. As you get closer.
Worst comes to worst, I got my room in the back, so it does look like I'm doing work.
That's true. As you get closer to the bar, he starts looking even more nervous, and is just sort of like, "Is there where'd you say you were going again? We're checking up on someone who's injured."
Elderly fella, he can't really leave the bed, and he's bedridden at this point, so we're just going to go see how he's doing. He's got a few health issues, stuff like that. I got a bunch of different things to give him, check on him. His sores, all that stuff.
Oh, yeah. Oh, okay. Well, all right. That sounds good. And as you're approaching the Wolf's Head, you can hear faintly the sound of like crashing coming from the back, of shouting and the like, but it all sounds very muffled and far away, even though you're approaching the Wolf's Head itself. As this is all happening, I'd like Mel to make me a perception check here as you're approaching the place.
Is it site-based? Because I think
This
elves
would be
get like
this
bonus, right?
This would be site-based. Yes, thank you.
Not scroll today.
Or is it hearing-based? I don't know.
Site.
Elves are just...
They got a lot. Get some.
I have, you said perception? I have 49.
Yeah. You see something perched on the roof of the Wolf's Head, hunched over and shapeless. Looks like perhaps in the dark here, with the shadows the way they are, it really just sort of looks like a lump. But you notice it shift and move ever so slightly as you approach the building, and you are also just assaulted by this horrific stench, this ammonia-like smell. Not quite as powerful as the others, but it is distinct and noticeable.
We approaching, I'd probably bring him to the back, right? Where all
Probably.
this stuff
Yeah.
is going on. Okay.
Mhm.
Well, darling, after you, please.
And Horst looks about. This is it, huh? Okay. And he enters in through the moon door. Now, those of you inside, the moon door opens. Molly is kicking rolls. Jerry is just beaten with a sea bubble. And the moon door opens to an unfamiliar shadowy figure. Mel, if you want to go ahead, if you want to go ahead and
Just
roll
get the
initiative.
shell, sis. She just came in like, what's wrong?
It's fine. Initiative is at 38.
It's called being method as fuck.
Right. We'll take the first one. That's 3. Oh my goodness. And you will go between Van and Molly. Otherwise, if it comes to it, here we go. So yeah,
Keep in
this is
mind.
what happens.
I'm dressed as a nun.
Dressed as a nun, and a shadowy figure opens up the door, and it is, I guess it would be Van's turn but you're sort of in the next room with Gunter helping out your father. So that and
Where the hell
Melanie,
is Melanie?
Molly, you can go.
I've got my knife out. Oh, sorry. Is it Mel's turn next, or is it mine on a surprise?
I would say that if we're gonna go with Molly, just we'll say it's your turn.
So I had my knife, and I was literally about to interrogate Roald about who was coming into our pub and messing things up when the door opens. And I'd sent Guntard around there, and I look up, and when I see it's not Guntard, I literally just like lunge, like feeling like I'm about to be ambushed by someone.
Okay. All right. Let's make that roll.
Okay. Don't worry, I'm not very good at this. We'll be okay.
There's no need for fucking demonic possession to make us PvP this time. We're just fucking idiots.
So you would have had 2 advantage from that, both sort of like charging into melee and sort of attacking a surprised enemy. So you would have had plus 20 to your melee.
5 degrees of success.
Yeah, that's 2 for me. So 3 total for Molly.
With my dagger, that's plus 4, so that's 7.
All right, and I think that's not that's not a headshot, but it is a body. So you stab him basically in the body. You're stabbing. You're like going for a a kill.
Straight out with yeah.
Okay,
I'm
horse.
really not slashing, just as much damage as I can do.
You're walking through the door next. Just like a fucking sitcom.
We'll get back to York in just a second. There's.
Oh, hey guys. It's one after the other.
All right, let's bring some.
I yell, Jerry!
Jerry! Bringing a little order to this chaos. Here's the scene, right? Molly has stabbed the unknown assailant, who is Horst, the orderly from the Chilean temple. Mel, who you can sort of see as a nun behind him as Molly gets up to the door. You can see a nun behind this guy. We'll see what Mel happens in a minute. And you can see Gunter coming around the side and like approaching the back. All of this is sort of happening at once. Jerry, it is your turn.
Bam! The nuns are coming!
Hold them off!
I go with my bottle, which, I was just waiting for someone else, really. I was bored when it wasn't anyone else to hit. I need at least a couple of minutes of, hitting people. So I just, swirl a bottle around, and I'm just gonna, hit the guy in the head that Molly is fighting with my bottle.
All right.
Sam!
There you go.
So that will be. Let's see.
I'm so proud of
Do I still have my advantages at this point?
Yeah, you haven't missed yet.
And you get a plus
Is this
10
a key
because I'm fighting him.
NPC, Jim? I
It's like,
really
I
hope
don't know
this is
how
like the key to
I
the
don't
story.
really. I remember from last season. I don't have key NPCs anymore.
There are just people who
all-
died.
They're all disposable.
Look at us murdering our first innocent person.
That is still a hit with all the pluses that I got.
Yep.
So yeah, dead on a hit.
Yeah, and I got that's 3 negative success levels for me.
And 36 is his right arm.
Mm-hmm.
Wait,
His right arm.
Hit me in the arm. So 10, 12. 12 in the arm.
12 in the arm. Yeah, you're throwing the bottle or using it like a club.
Using it like a club, I think.
Okay.
Jerry likes to get people's faces.
There's a Horst is stabbed and hit with this full bottle of something, and immediately recoils and tries to scramble out of the moon doorway while screaming for help from who he thinks is a nut. Flee! You're under attack!
Get him out!
All the while,
He came in through the wrong fucking door!
I spit on his face,
This is exit only!
Roll's turn. It is now Van. It's your turn. It'll be Van and then Mel.
Yeah, hearing this renewed action in the back, he's gonna just one of the random patrons at the bar, watch him while I come back. And he's gonna pick his pistol up and run to the back room So that might be his whole action.
Okay. Yes. Yeah. Coming to the back room, you see through the open. You see the silhouette in the doorway of.
It's this ridiculously well orchestrated Pirates of the Caribbean 2 like style circus fight which is happening right now.
So anyway, that's all my action probably, right?
Yes.
So, yeah.
Mel.
I think I'm gonna try to push the poor orderly back into the shit.
All right.
Poor bastard.
This poor bastard. All right, let's make a.
I can't let you walk home alone.
You got this, darling, and just shove him that shit.
It's just a
Push
white
him back up. Let's roll opposed strength. Fuck. Oh. Yeah. All right. Yeah. That's like
Probably won't.
6.
This probably won't go well, but it's fine. Yeah, I have 36. So.
There's you push him. He's sort of like knocked off balance, but you weren't. It's like happens really quickly. You more keep him from fleeing. Rather, he's still trapped in that doorway there as Gunther approaches. Molly, it's your turn here. Oh my god.
There are dozens of them!
He just comes back in and
he just bounces back.
I just be standing behind them, just watching. You guys got this.
that Mel.
64. Do I have a ton of advantages?
It's
But
all Harry.
So the two from-
once.
You've hit him. My mind's quickly
I've got 2
disintegrating.
allies in melee.
Yeah. Yes.
Then I succeed. Just succeed.
Okay.
Unless I get 4, then I have 1 successful level.
No, it looks like you've got at least. I think you've got like 5 plus 50 between
Okay,
like
so
3
I'll
advantage plus the plus being in melee with others. I got
And
2
just pushes
successes.
him in, and the knife comes out. Just
Oh my god.
playing that like pop-up pirate game where I just keep sticking knives in the barrel.
So how many success levels did you get?
2, I think.
2. Okay, so I got 2 as
Wait,
well.
hang on. I had 50 points go up. I need 37 to hit. I rolled 64. 44, 54, 64, 54, 84. So yeah, 2.
2. All right. This looks like a tie. Because I've got 2 success levels, but I don't know. I go ahead and roll.
Maybe it like catches like a coat or something. Just roll damage anyway.
It's like a glancing wound, right? Like it's not going to do a ton of damage.
The base, so it'd just be 4.
Yes. Yep. Which yes. So it's a flesh wound for him, as Molly stabs him again, and it is Jerry's turn. Hopefully we will get to York.
Nothing which has happened to stop Jerry from hitting this man. So, I've clubbed him twice. No, I've clubbed him once
He's
now.
like screaming for mercy. Don't, please!
Stop coming
Jerry.
back in then!
Jerry would hit him. I mean, he's just a bully.
Yes.
So, while I'm the worst person around. Oh my god, I killed this man. It's something like 5 degrees of success.
Yeah,
wait,
I got
5 or
0.
6,
Yeah. Plus the advantage that you had from last time. Yeah.
You got a lot of
okay.
those.
I got 0. You can kill him if you wish. He's surrounded by the 3 of you, without a weapon, without any sort of means of really defending himself. If you wish it, you could end his life, Jerry.
I don't think he means to. I don't think Jerry means to. It's a combination of him being stabbed several times and once, and Jerry's just in the sort of rage where he thinks people are just assaulting his tavern, which is a righteous rage for Jerry. So I think I like fracture his skull and he dies as I blast a bottle over him and he falls down. I don't know what he said yet, but
yeah, he like hits the pavement hard, the cobblestones hard, and there's a bad sound as a horse.
His head hits like the back step, and there's that crunch of the neck that just goes.
And out in the back alley, near the threshold of the moon door, it goes quiet for just a moment. I'm gonna pause in the action for a second and return to York, because when we last saw York, he passed by.
Coming for the moon door.
He had passed right by Mel and the orderly, Mel in disguise, of course, and the orderly, on his way towards the back entrance to the Temple of Shalya. Now you're headed towards there to sneak in, yeah?
I was like, I want to see if she's come out one of these entrances. I'm a little bit worried where she is.
Okay.
So I guess I could peek in this back entrance. There's no one outside it?
No, you don't see anyone outside there. It's like the way you left it, probably less than an hour ago, really.
So as I came out, were there like two obvious ways? Like one went down to this asylum dungeony area, and one went another way, which I've not explored.
Correct. Yes.
I'm guessing I'm going to go in and go the other way then.
All right. As York sneaks in, you can hear up ahead of you the howls and shouts of the remaining patients that were in their cells, and you take that other path that you didn't take last time, and it leads down a long corridor that ends in two doors. One of them is straight ahead of you, and then the other one is just to your left.
Can I hear anything, or is there any sign of anyone in either room?
You can go ahead. You can make a roll. Yeah.
61. It's still like 3 degrees of failure.
You're not sure that you hear anything other than the shouting of the patients coming from further back. Neither door is locked.
I'll check the one to my right to start with. I'll crack it open and I'll just peek in rather than being overt and opening it straight away.
It looks like a set of stairs. It looks like a set of stairs that leads up, not very far. Looks like maybe just a single flight of them.
Yeah, I'll creep up these stairs.
Okay.
I'm listening particularly for Mel's voice, because I know I can't go back without her at this point. I'm thinking they're just going to give me hell.
It's a blind leading blind.
Right. You walk up the flight of steps that sort of gently curves around something, and it ends in an opening that through which you can see a very dark and not really. It's actually underground, no light. You're having trouble. In fact, unless York has night vision, you're gonna have to light a lantern at some point. There were lights in the halls behind you.
Like, would there have been a candle or something I could have pulled off? I'm just trying to see what I've got. I think I've got some candles with me anyway. Yeah, I'll light. Yeah, I've got some candles on me, so I'll just light one of those.
Okay.
Keep it fairly close to me, but be holding that up just to help me see.
Okay. So as you light the candle, you see that you are in a large circular, like an amphitheater, right? And you are on the top level. There are 3 levels of seats and then a sunken area that's about 10 feet in diameter that has a variety of tables or platforms or something on it. Off to your left, you can see another doorway with a set of stairs leading down to that central sunken area. But the level you're at looks like seating that's in a vaguely semicircular arrangement around this central area.
Can I see down? Can I see anything down there? Is it more seating, or is it like a performance area, or?
It doesn't look like a performance area. There looks like a rather large table, rectangular table that towards one end of it has two smaller sections running perpendicular to it, vaguely resembling like a cross or something like that. And then there are several other, like I said, maybe a podium is down there, and then smaller tables. The central table with the kind of the arms coming off of it is has a dark stain on it.
Yeah, unless I see sign of anyone or hear sign of anyone, I'll use the other exit and I'll start making my way down there.
Okay, so you sort of backtrack and then go down to the level.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Getting down to the floor of the amphitheater, you get a better view of things. This the large table with the arms coming across it has places for what might be ropes or chains or something, as well as a metallic circular hoop at one end of it, the one closest to the arms running across it. And you can tell underneath the table that there are gears or something, like the table could be pitched or moved about. It appears stationary, fixed to the floor. That's what you see as you immediately.
It kind of, maybe to the untrained, looks a bit like a piece of torture equipment or something like that. It looks like...
Oh, this totally looks like a torture room to York, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like with a weird, fascinated curiosity, but kind of scared at the same time, making sure no one's around. I'll creep in closer, and also I'll look on some of these tables just to see if there's any clue what this room's used for or what's been going on here.
Mm-hmm. Now that you're here on the ground, you can see that there is another doorway that's sort of sunken in to the bottom of it, like a short flight of steps, and then another doorway that goes down. You would have been above it from the position that you were on the seating ring.
Cool.
The tables, the non-torture-y tables, just appear to be like, tables that you can move around as they're needed. They're at sort of waist height. They're not particularly large. And then there is a podium with what appears to be books and papers sort of tucked into a cubby underneath the podium itself.
Do any of these books they look like they've been written in before, or are they like printed ones, or ones that would have been bought a reference book, or any of these like notebooks or anything like that?
They appear to be notes, yes. There are blank sheets of paper there. There is a book of anatomy from both that appears to be human, dwarf, elven, just a book of general anatomy for the peoples of the empire. And then there are notes written, and while you can kind of read them, they don't appear to be written in a foreign language, but the writing is unintelligible on them.
I'll grab a couple because I know Mel is always after this kind of shit, and I want to try and use it as make weight to try and get maybe some access to some more magical aim things. So I'll stuff some of those into my pockets. Is there any sign like this big scary table? Does it look like it's been used recently? Is there any detritus or?
Mm-hmm. There is a dark stain on it, and it seems sort of to run down the central portion of it, but the whole thing has what York would know are old blood stains on it in various places, especially around the ends of the arms, which are where you found the fasteners that you potentially secure something to it, and the iron ring at the one end of it is where the stains are darkest. But there's no instruments. There's no like anything loose other than those papers that you found tucked into the podium.
Yeah, I imagine York will close his eyes for a second and kind of have a flashback to sitting round his camp and maybe his mother telling the story of the witch hunters and the torch equipment they used to get their facts. And this is kind of always what York imagined. And it just kind of hits him for a second of a memory of him being younger and back home. And as long as it doesn't look like there's anything else particularly that would catch York's eye, I'll head to that other doorway, the one that was down the steps.
Okay. It appears to be locked. Barred from the other side.
Oh, I don't know if I can do barred from the other side. Open lock, open one. So it's barred rather than locked.
Correct. It's loot. Like you can like move it, but there's something on the other side that's preventing you from fully opening the door.
Yeah, I'm just thinking. Like, do you think I'd be able to magically open that? So it just says open one non-magical lock.
Yeah, I think that works. Yeah, that's how you got out of your the cell, right? The cells upstairs were barred from the outside.
I will, as long as it looks like no one's going to immediately hear me, I'll attempt to magically open this lock. I'll recite my little thing, close my eyes, and pass. Whew, standard success.
There you go. There's a clatter on the other side as your pop of magic forces the door open. And you are looking at a small room that has shelves on both sides of you. The walls sort of line the shelves. At the far end is another door, but it's like a grate, like a gate rather. That you can see past that is just a dark tunnel that you're not really sure what's beyond it. But that's what you see ahead of you.
I'll proceeding quietly. Is there anything that catches my eye in this room? I'll be having to walk around it with my candle to light up anything.
Let's see. The walls are lined with all manner of jars and containers. One wall of them, we'll call this the south wall, has all sorts of organs and the like. You're not sure whose or what type, in jars of cloudy yellow liquid. There's dozens of specimens, some of them in quite large containers, others of them in much smaller ones. The opposite shelf on the north wall, it looks like boxes and trays of instruments and the like, as well as chemicals to do something with. You're not sure.
Yeah, so it's all just medical rubbish, really. I think I'll cast an eye over it. Realize that, one, I'm not going to get rich here. There's nothing that's going to help me pay off my debt. And two, Mel's not here, so I'm probably going to be in more debt because Jerry's not going to be happy with me. So unless there's anything that looks abnormal or fascinating to me, I might take an extra scalpel because they're useful to have. Pair of scissors, because I imagine they're not very, like, surgical scissors. Would they have that back there? And I'm just thinking they're not particularly common.
They're not particularly common. The instruments that you are looking at are you don't recognize them. They appear well made and well maintained. They are clean. They're rust free. They're arranged in order. They're not like just in a heap or a pile on the shelf. But a lot of them are of designs and the like that you don't immediately recognize. Like, you're familiar with, say, Mel's blood bag, whatever you call it, like just sort of quick bone saws and clamps and scalpels and things. These these, you don't recognize a lot of these from her bag. York does. They just look different.
So I'll take like a scalpel a pair of scissors, and I'll take one that looks particularly exotic or like a bit weird, and again I'll try and trade that with Mel. Okay. Because I'm always after a way in there. And then I'm guessing I'm going to head back because there's nothing particularly that's fascinating me in here. Okay. If I go to that grate, does it still just look black the other side of it?
It looks like a dark tunnel that leads underneath the city. The smell that's coming from it smells of sewage. And if you'll recall, the tunnel that leads to this from the abandoned basement that you used to get here runs over a sewage line.
It's still a bit weird that they would have a direct line to a sewer. And obviously, this is a medical area. Is this gate open?
It is not.
I think the smell of shit would be enough to put York off for now. I think he would maybe think about opening this one, but think, no, I better stay on task.
Gonna stay on task.
Then I will head my way back to maybe the join. As far as I'm concerned, have I pretty much scouted this whole area, or is there another way I could have gone?
I mean, as far as you know, you came through a door in the infirmary, past several other rooms, and were led down into this basement, which had a long corridor with these like 9 cells, like 4 on one side, 5 on the other, where you released a few of them, and then the corridor kind of turned, made this other long extent, and then partway there is where the secret tunnel out goes, and then you just went the other way towards this room with the instruments. Unless you want to go hunting around for secret doors or the like, you've exhausted the avenues that you're aware of.
Yeah, so here. I think York's never going to be able to just walk straight into that infirmary after what he did there, so I guess he's going to try and get his way out and just make up an excuse how Mel said that he'd meet Jerry later or something. He's going to try and think of a lie, but I think that's all he's going to be able to do there, and then I'll head back so you can pass over.
Gotcha. So York walks back across the city, heading towards the Wolf's Head. Back at the Wolf's Head, darkness and the muffling effect on sound still blankets the building and surrounding alleyways, but Horst is quickly bleeding out, his feet twitching on the pavement as Gunter runs up and is like, and then looks at Mel for a second.
Like lighting a cigarette.
Yeah.
Jerry, I don't want to hear your shit right now, alright? Fuck
What the
you.
fuck? Wait a minute. Mel? What the fuck are you doing here?
I found out some shit, alright? I wasn't expecting you to fucking kill him, but I mean, that works too?
What the fuck was I supposed to? I didn't mean to. I didn't mean to hit him, he just walked into it.
Fair enough.
Check out his dad.
Jerry, you know drugs. Here, take a look at this. What the fuck is this shit?
Yeah, I'll take a look at it. I put it into my pocket. Look after Ferris. Man's dad's dying or something.
Mel!
Oh,
Someone else is about to die.
Oh, Jesus fucking Christ. Alright. Don't take that. I need to know what the fuck it is. Jesus.
Yeah.
Alright.
Imagine,
Bring him to me.
Yeah.
I imagine Molly's
on the
gonna
bar.
start dragging this guy down the alley towards the sewer dump where we put, our lumpy waste goods.
I'll chuck him in there with her.
Just push him in there.
I'll just kick him in there with her.
So Jerry and Molly go to dispose of Horst.
Can we check his pockets before we dump him, just in case he has money or useful things?
Yeah, in fact, Jerry, he seems awfully familiar to you. And in fact, you're recognizing him as one of the 2 orderlies that you had sort of spoken to earlier today. He's dressed in an orderly's outfit. He's not in the motley and mask of Carnival that you had him in earlier, but this is definitely one of the 2 orderlies, along with Dankrit that you met earlier.
Me, mate.
It's like
He's one of
drag
these-
him across the cold.
These are on the two what was to come to find old Ferris earlier. If he goes missing, I might come looking after him.
I mean, it's a good job we shanked him then, because he was going to steal Ferris, and Ferris had already been shanked himself.
True enough, he's probably
I mean-
coming back to finish the job.
There's a lot of
we had
people
what we-
coming to finish the job. Just trust me. Let's fix up his father real quick. We'll grab me some
Well-
bandages. Let me take a look.
What's happening? I'm going to cut out any gold teeth from his mouth.
Yeah, he's got some. He's got that. There's a small coin purse that he has. Looks like maybe, I don't know, probably less than a dozen brass pennies. That he's got like sewn into the. Yeah.
All right.
But he's not
I-
armed or anything like that.
Can I discreet that purse before Jerry even knows it's there?
Ooh,
Because I'm not sharing
yeah.
it with Jerry.
Yeah, you guys can make me a opposed perception, and then whoever wins sees it first and can.
Which is very bad.
There's mine.
75.
Right.
I guess I'll grab it now. If I see it.
Yeah.
I might
Yeah,
kill.
it looks like. Yeah, it's like one of those things where like maybe Molly kind of sees it as Jerry is making his way to get it. So the two of you drag off Horst to your disposal location while Van and Mel head into the tavern to check on Ferris. As Van and Mel leave the alleyway and enter back into the Wolf's Head, it's quiet here.
Killed everyone.
As in, are there still people in the bar?
Yeah, there was like five of the regulars who just sort of stay here, plus Gunter. Oh, Gunter's back in the back alley and is kind of behind you. But you're in that back storeroom. It's still really dark, but the doors to the main tap room are open. The main tap room is no longer lit. You can't really see that well into it. Both of you, even though you have your night vision, it's like that, like a human looking into a dark room, and it's quiet inside of here.
Oh, shit. Oh, be careful. Stay back. And Van's gonna get his pistol ready and just kind of stand at the door, looking out. And he's gonna kind of do that hushed whisper. Jerry! Holly! Trying to call
They're
out.
like-
out. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Yeah. But he doesn't want to leave. And he doesn't want to walk into the room. So he's just kind of staying there, like his pistol just like shaking a little bit.
You can hear a body fall to the ground inside. You can hear a distinctive sound of a body hitting the floor. You know what that sounds like.
I seriously hope that was Cletus passing out again.
No, I got my dog.
I have a
but,
pistol.
you know,
Stay back. Just kind of calls out into the darkness.
Fucking
Is the pub dog barking or is it growling? What is the pub dog doing?
You guys
That might
don't hear
help, man.
I
You
assume
two
the
can't
pub
hear
dog
it.
sticks with like Jerry.
Oh.
Like this is Jerry's
Okay.
dog.
I was about to be pissed when Jim's like, "You don't hear the dog." I'm like,
Oh, really? You guys I'll give you this one, but don't ever let a pet out of your sight around me again.
Tripped over him in the back room and he didn't even notice.
Yeah, I guess the dog sort of follows me around.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Is it crazy dark like it was before, or would Mel be able
Dog's
to?
named Alan, by the way. Called a dog
Yes,
Alan.
it is crazy dark. Like Mel is having trouble. You're an elf and a dwarf. Like you guys should be able to see in there, no
Anything,
problem.
yeah.
A dark room, no big deal. But it's bad. You can't really make out much of anything other than vague shapes in the dark.
What the fuck happened here? What? Is there something fucking with something? Where's York?
Rold said that they were coming. That something was here.
I heard from the fucking order. They're sending a whole bunch of people after your pa. I mean, they're not necessarily worried if they get him or not, but there's a bunch of people hunting for him. Like, they put together a whole party, so we need to be fucking careful.
But they don't know we're here, though. Right?
No. No, they didn't know where anybody was.
And he just points to the dark. What you doing that?
Gonna head back in after I cut out this man's tooth.
Mm-hmm.
What's going on?
I'd say Melanie's gotten her dagger out. She's a little afraid.
Mm-hmm. It appears as though Jerry's on his way back.
What's up?
It's in the tap room now. The darkness.
Okay.
Somebody's fucking with our booze? That's not good.
Another ugly, I said. Another nun.
I thought Melanie was the nun.
God damn it.
Oh, hello.
Jerry, I don't want to fucking hear it. I was sneaking around trying to find out shit. Oh my god, I need to fucking change. I can't see a goddamn thing though. It's only gonna get worse if I can't see.
I can see enough, trust me.
Oh my lord.
Someone in there.
Right.
Wait, Alan! I go back to my dog, Alan. Wait, it's not Alan.
Harry, hitting on nuns is a bad habit. Sorry.
So you guys are sort of standing there at the threshold of the moon door. Even Gunther is like, and you know that Gunther's a veteran and someone who's not easily put off by violence.
It is well known you don't mess with them.
I pick up another bottle and go in.
You use the cheap stuff, Jerry.
We don't have expensive stuff, sweetheart.
We have slightly more expensive stuff than the cheap stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Alright. I'll like go down a grade to like the no label bottles. You know, like.
Right. Partially feeling your way down the stock shelves to get to the
I know
the
it well
stuff.
enough to just like there it is. Grab one and
like, dusty, sticky liqueur bottle that no one ever wants to drink because no one knows what it is.
Yeah.
I'm gonna creak open the door a little bit and shout, "Who the fuck's in there?"
Make me a perception test real quick for Jerry. For anyone who's like right at the door.
Yeah, Van would be right there with the pistol ready, so he's gonna look too.
So many levels of
And
failure.
I'm right behind Van.
It's a crit fail too.
Yep, failed.
Yeah, it is.
Alright. Yeah. I mean
We ain't seen shit.
it is like, you know how sometimes it's like
Just imagine
There you
these
go.
3 heads popping around the door and they're like, I don't see shit.
yeah.
Even though
So you know how
I'm way
sometimes-
taller than Ben, somehow I can only see the back of his head.
Yeah, the cat doesn't leave the room that it's in. Trust me, we have tried. So there is sometimes after like a fresh fallen snow, how if you go outside it's super quiet, but at the same time everything's heightened and sharp. It kind of feels that way. There's definitely something muffled, something that's dampening what's going on. You can hear little things, the scrape of a table leg, the sound of a footfall, but it's difficult to determine exactly where they are and what they might be doing. So as you all stand there on the edge, something's in there, but you're not sure
Alright.
what or where.
I look back. It's probably just someone drunk come on in. I get my bottle, I draw a knife in the other hand, and the fag is just resting in my mouth. And I go in. Good.
All right,
Jerry ain't afraid no
Jerry
ghosts.
walks in. Yeah,
Yeah,
He's
Jerry walks in.
ready to die in Warhammer.
Yeah, Gunther's like... Gunther...
What the fuck is
right.
someone drunk, so you're like, better go fucking tooled up and kill him?
You've not been here. We've had a tense night.
Yeah.
Okay, anyway, mate, I don't do shit.
Van will follow Jerry in with the pistol raised, keeping a lookout, but staying close to Jerry. Might feel Van like grab the back of his shirt. So he doesn't.
I just say it's probably just York. Like,
Right. Dagger's come back with the medicine that you asked him for.
I'm gonna stand in the doorway.
All right, Mel's in the door. Molly.
God, on retreat.
I'm gonna stay with Van's dad because that's like the target that everyone seems to be after. So I'm just gonna hold back and let them go in because I've just had my share of blood for the night. I'm pretty good at this point. I can hear a cat somewhere that I'm kind of tempted to go and steal and hand in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm gonna
nice
hold
bounty.
back on this one.
Yeah, it's a pretty big cat too. It's worth a lot.
I'll see
You
how
can get
the
that
night
cut. You
takes
win.
me.
Yeah. All right. So kind of hanging back a little, but going in ultimately.
I'll probably be like sat on the bar, like one eye on Ferris right now, and the second I hear them kick off, then I'll go in after them. But until then, I'm kind of lurking, keeping an eye on the bar because we've had a lot of people coming in and out recently. They
It's true.
shouldn't be coming in and out. In fact, maybe
Very
I'll
true.
go lock the front door.
Oh, so you go
That's
around
one less
the
door.
Mhm.
Yeah.
so like
I'll
going
go
around the outside and lock the door.
Yeah, I'll go out the main door
Yeah.
and go in the front door and lock it up.
Okay. Sounds good. As you, so Molly's gone around to lock the front door or block it, and right, and
Shut in, fellas. Enjoy.
prevent it. Yes, all night. The three, Jerry, followed by Van and Gunter, enter into the tap room by way of the storage rooms. And as you get into the storage room, you can hear whispers coming from where you last left Rolled, who was otherwise whimpering on the floor. And it's just, it's here. It's here. It's here. It's here. And Jerry, as you enter into the tap room, you don't see any movement. There were about 5 regulars in here. People were dancing up on the tables and chairs, marching around and all this other stuff. You see the outline of what might be a table that's been turned over, but no people walking around. You do, however, step on a regular who is face down on the floor, some sort of liquid on the ground around him. What does Jerry do? And Van and Van's there.
I'm gonna like kick him a little bit, see if he's awake.
Oi, are you?
Nothing.
I turn him over as
no
their
response.
blood.
Yeah,
If I,
dark liquid. Yeah. Yeah, as you turn him over, a dark liquid is all over his face and the front of him, and you can see as you turn him over that there are 4 metallic objects in around his neck and face, sticking out of it. They look like dagger blades, but without handles. And as Jerry is inspecting this, Van, you notice that in the silhouette of the light, the windows here are greasy, smoky. They're in bad need of a cleaning, but they provide just enough light for contrast as a pool of shadow rises up out of the middle of the room and stands in front of you. Next week, we'll figure out who or what this thing is.
Woo.
There we go.
Alrighty then.
Oh
Well,
boy.
we killed a man for no good reason. And we cut out his tooth through his
Poor Horst.
Wait,
Oh,
well,
And
young William, that wasn't me. That was all you with the cutting.
Hey, you stabbed him. You stabbed him twice.
He wanted
and
to
for some
bring that-
reason, I'm still dressed as a nun.
Yeah. I'd
You
like to
started
point
it,
out
I'll
that
just finish it.
all 3 of y'all were involved in that. So I wasn't.
Definitely equally
I wasn't.
responsible. Honestly, I blame York. If he had come back with Melanie and he had spotted her in a perception check, it would have gone a whole lot differently. Horst wouldn't have had to be involved. Basically, we can blame Gareth for all of this. But
Seems to be good.
well, that's good. Before we head out here today, the Seattle Dice Warhammer session, of course, we're here every Wednesday at 4 p.m. Eastern. We have a new game coming in just a few seconds, which is, of course, Star Trek Deep Space Fine. So stick around for that in just a few minutes. And we'll be giving away a set of tabletop loot dice in just a minute here as well. But let's go around the cast and crew. Did we enjoy ourselves? Where can we find you guys online? Jim fucking Davis' son. How was that, my friend?
This is great. I like how this is unfolding, and I really loved just the fact that you guys aren't afraid to split up, go do weird stuff, pass each other. How many times have y'all visited this temple this evening? I've lost count of. I just love how frantic and all over the place everyone's sort of actions are, because it gives it a good feel to the campaign. So I'm loving it. Still learning the system. My brain is very much entrenched in second edition, so I occasionally revert to that. But little by little, we're learning the new fourth edition. I like how combat works. Seems to be going faster. But really enjoying it. I am, of course, one half of WebDM, where you can find us on YouTube, although probably not today. Probably going to be another Thursday video for us. And then, of course, we're on Twitch Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays, where we're playing D&D and Invisible Sun and some other stuff. In fact, that's what we're doing in like an hour, playing Invisible Sun. So come check us out there or follow us online. Apparently, interesting things happen when you follow us over on Twitter. So check that out.
And for more drama,
yes.
Oh, Jim, amazing. Stop. Charlie, how's it going? I'm kidding. I will never stop.
Well,
how was that?
I had the best time. I was so sad to miss last week's episode, and I'm so glad that I could be here, play today. We will get the band back together eventually, but I am enjoying it. I love party splits. They're like my favorite thing. So I'm kind of sorry, Jim, but also I'm not really. It's just too much fun. And I love that tonight was just a pure comedy of errors. Down to Jim's cat wailing in the background. It was just so perfect. Please go and love on her when you're done. She sounds like she needs it. And yeah, shout out to the amazing cast I get to play with every week. It's like the best. And you should all be very jealous in chat in the Chaos Chorus that I get to do this. Also, thank you for being here.
Hopefully as well next week, I'm pretty sure we'll have our ERP Chaos emotes there in the Twitch chat. So we'll be able to send Labana hi for the Chaos Chorus. I'm looking forward to that.
If you didn't have enough Warhammer tonight, on Friday on Roll Up, Jim fucking Davidson is joining me for episode 2 of Rolling Up Warhammer characters. We're actually starting rolling this week. We're going to roll 2 characters. They're going to be really cool. So if you want to know more about the system, which is brand new from Cubicle 7, the books, the hard copies are coming out soon, according to emails. So yes, if you want to know more, come watch us on Friday, 5 p.m. Eastern. It'll be fun.
Awesome. Thanks to you so much, Charlie. And Cherry, how was that?
I'm having a freaking blast with you guys. I really am. Thank you for bringing me in. And somehow I'm still in a nun costume. I feel like I'm not going to be able to get out of that. Later on my channel, Cherry Babam, I'll be doing some GTA RP. I think I'm going to be a French woman for a while today, so switching accents back and forth. I'm sure that'll go well.
It's a way to do it. Amazing stuff. And let's see, Jonathan Pruitt, how was that, my friend?
Oh, my face hurts right now. That was just a great episode. I mean, I love the complete contrast to last season in this one. The tone, everything about it. It's just a whole new experience. And so I can't wait till next week. Like Jim already ran through pretty much all of our stuff. I'll just say that, weekend after next, RPGN will be back in full force. So have a good one.
Awesome, amazing stuff. And last and most least, Gareth.
There I am, back demoted back to my usual place after being allowed to carry the coffee cups for just 1 minute, and now it's back. So much fun. 3 hours of smiles and giggling and chuckling all the way through. I have so much fun. Basically, everyone did stuff, and I really badly insulted someone, got the shit beat out of me.
That was amazing.
Stole a couple of books, a dagger, some scissors, and let's be honest, probably a speculum. And now I'm on the way back to the tavern, feeling quite accomplished with myself. So I imagine I'm going to proudly hand that over. You know what this is for, right? So yeah, but thank you.
Do you?
Yes, the one you put in your ear, right? So I don't really have much chat. I'll tell you what. Friend of Encounter, Mythematics, been through a bit of a shitty time lately. But like, you guys are amazing, and if you can send some love his way, send support out there.
He's lovely.
He needs some friends. He's a good old boy, and he does a lot. Thank you. He needs some love. Is what I mean.
You can really do with some friends. Yeah.
I was trying to be nice, Will. Thank you for throwing that out the window. Thank you for shitting on my dreams once more.
He's a sweetheart.
Swam here.
But yeah.
Well, I, like a good friend, I'm speaking to Myth tonight, so yeah, fuck the rest of you, Gareth. But we got games to play, we got Star Trek to do, we got Warhammer next week. We've got all these guys to check out in the meantime. So go and follow our channels, follow them on social media, and all that good shit. But it's time for Star Trek and another dice giveaway. So until next time, my friends, try not to roll too many net ones. We want to be there laughing when you do. Good night, everybody. Be a better friend than Gareth. Bye.